Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Strategic Feminine here on YouTube. And of course, I like to focus on all things feminine, all things girly, all things womanly in essence on life. And of course, I'm always going to keep it real, keep it honest. This is just an impromptu live because I was supposed to do a get ready with me on 4th of July. Didn't do it. Sorry, y'all. Didn't do it. Just didn't hop on live. Didn't care. I haven't made any videos because there hasn't been anything that I care to talk about. Honestly, everything has been pretty much boring. But the few like nothing burger topics I'll cover on my current event live. We're gonna, of course, have to talk about that Miami situation because this directly has to do with dark skin, pretty lady myself. I've never been to Miami, so will I act like it didn't make me nervous because I do have a trip planned for Florida and, to sit there and have, people saying, this is not just like the first thing I've heard about Miami neither. Miami has been is notorious for dark skinned women specifically talking about it. It's notorious for that. Now, I've seen pretty dark skinned women still talk about how they've been mistreated in Miami because of their skin tone. Now, if someone didn't outrightly tell to them, hey, this is why I'm treating you like this because of your skin tone, there's no way to 100% prove that. But as a dark skinned girl myself, you can pick up on microaggressions. Like it's not rocket science. Now, if it had to be proven in a court of law, that's different. But right here, this is the court of public opinion. And lots of people have spoken about colorism in Miami, in particular, dark girls, okay? Not just black women, dark girls have spoken about it. And I've seen a few pretty girls myself speaking on Miami and just saying like, hey, I'm not really fucking with it out here. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to watch the video. Of course, we're going to have to watch the video just to see what like these girls may have did right or wrong. I don't know if I could say like, only thing I can hope is that I don't have the same experience. And that's not even to be funny. That's just to be honest. Like, I don't want to have that experience. I don't want to be sitting out in a club at my Sunday's best on, and then people look at me and say, that's not good enough for this establishment here. So I don't know. That's very crazy. And then I'll just speak about a few other things, kind of introducing or ushering you guys into what's going on with my channel this far. Like for me, being very honest, girl, I'm not gonna just talk about everything. Everything and anything is not gonna go here. Like, I just feel like there has to be some level of quality control with the videos. And I don't always want to bog y'all down with negative stuff. And certain things just aren't really my cup of tea. For real, for real. And then also, I really don't think that the celebrity news and gossip has been as piping as they used to be. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, celebrities, they must be actually listening to their PR teams. They definitely have been investing in something because a lot of their drama is not out on the street no more. A lot of their drama, you gotta go through. Tell me not. Every last celebrity news gossip drama that we've had this year has came from the court system. Literally, that's going to be the only way we're going to be able to touch these celebrities now, find out anything that's going on with their real and personal life. Like, these celebrities are smart enough. Okay, there is no PR mistakes going on. They must have invested in some good PR team because take the DDG and Haley situation. We only found out about that because someone was coming through the Superior Court's records. And same thing with Sky Jackson. We only found out about that because the motion was filed with the same court, Superior Los Angeles, California. So literally, we only are finding real celebrity tea from the source or from the courts. And that's smart. I'm not mad at it. I don't really make a celebrity news and gossip, channel. So I'm not mad at it, but I will say that's probably why a lot of this stuff has been very boring, very dry, in my opinion. I just feel like, girl, get off this YouTube. Like, this stuff is dry. So I'm gonna play it. So her exact words were she was denied in the club. It was a group of 3. I'm gonna give y'all the rundown. Group of 3, beautiful black women. They weren't from there. They flew there, and we're all of them beautiful, varying levels. We'll speak about that. But they came to Miami. They was at the door. They were at Mona's. Okay, I've never been to Mona's. I don't know. Someone let me know if you're from there. So they said that in specific that the guy said she was too dark and too thick. Now, I don't think that she said too thick because I think the girl said too thick. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the girl said too thick. I think the girl, kind of had put that in there. but I'm sharing my screen now so y'all can understand. And then y'all can see what I don't like. And then I'm also gonna mention some colorism mistakes. I'm gonna put that on the list. Colorism politic mistakes. Because that's another thing I'm gonna talk about too. Because I feel like my dark sisters, we use colorism as like a runaway bride type of thing. Like whenever something bothers us, we're going to use the colorism card. And there are very real instances of colorism. Do not get me misconstrued on that. I have faced real discrimination due to my real skin tone. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is using colorism as a reasoning in situations where you're not around, where you have cold hard evidence, is not a societal smart thing to do, because most people are not going to want to believe that, even if they know it to be true, they're not going to want to be called out on isms in public, right? Notice how all these people talk about some benefit from your isms. They will never say it with their real face in the camera frame, because it's just an unpopular take. Same thing as saying someone's too dark to enter your establishment. That's an unpopular take. Nobody's going to talk like, no one's going to talk like that in public. Now, behind closed doors, people definitely talk like that. That's really could be how that person felt at that moment. But what I think is smart for women to do, especially if you're a darker woman, a lot of these colorism crybaby accusations have been coming around. It is smart to only use colorism as a reasoning for your mistreatment when you can 100% prove it, or when it's been, mentioned to you. And the only way you can do that is if somebody has outrightly said something about your skin tone and you clock that. That's the only way. And I do it all the time. It happens to take someone saying anything about your hair texture. You should be able to clock that too. Well, that was very texturous of you. What makes you think that my hair ain't done? Something like anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to be able to have it in stone, because you don't want to be seen as a quote unquote colorism crybaby, because you're using colorism without any evidence of. See, when I say colorism, I actually have evidence. There's actually scenarios where colorism has been explicitly. I don't just assume colorism. It has been explicitly stated that my skin tone would be the reasoning for my treatment, and that is what I consider colorism. So yes, dark girls, be careful. Do not be getting caught up in the fray. Don't be colorism warriors. That's what I'm saying. Understand colorism, realize it's a part of the situation, but should you be a warrior behind it? No, because it really don't even affect you to the point where if they're not letting you get into their club, let me be for real. Like, I'm gonna call it whatever. If they're not letting you get into the club, you just saved you some money and some steps. That you didn't want to go into that, because if that's how they feel about you at the door, what do you think they're gonna feel about you when you walk up in there? If the bouncer, at least the bouncer, to me, I didn't watch the video, but at least he didn't set her up for failure. So yeah, but I also have the same story. Like, I'm gonna let her speak, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what my story was, because people always swear it literally has a lot to do with your location. Because I keep hearing people say, "Oh, it's because she wasn't skinny. It's because she's overweight and fat." I've had people say the same things towards me going into a lounge, going into a club. It's like the craziest. It has everything to do with your location, because each location has different beauty standards. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later. I'm going to play the video, of course. And these are current events. I'm going to talk about everything that I've been seeing but haven't really cared enough to make a video about. And of course, this is my love bug. Y'all know I love me some Ashley Dalton for all the news, especially when it comes down to pretty girl news. I think she's super friendly for Black women. Pretty girl, friendly Black woman.
A video of a group of girls being denied access to a Miami. A video of a group of girls being denied access to a Miami nightclub because of their body and color.
Yeah, y'all. I'm trying to figure out why I'm in the middle of Miami. Literally at what time?
It's 12:44.
It's 12:44. We go to a club called Mona. Do you know this club told me I'm too dark and too thick? Didn't let her in because she's too thick. Dark?
Bitches have audacity.
What's really going on, Miami? All too dark to get in the club? Yeah, no. Somebody need to let me know what's going on in Miami.
I just spoke about.
Okay.
So if you
So am I going to sit here and act like this lady, this lady ain't heard what she heard? If she's saying too dark, if those were the exact words, too dark and too thick, then I'm inclined to believe her only for this video. Only for the purposes of this video. If you find out anything differently, I'll say something differently. But for now, for the purpose of the video, she was told that she was too thick and too dark. I don't know if she was said in the conjunction. I don't know if he asked and she put up a foot put back. I didn't even see nobody outside in the club. So we only gonna have to go off what this woman said in her friend group. Okay, let's get into my real thoughts, my real opinions. For real, I always tell y'all, like, getting kicked out of somewhere, getting like you're not able to be there is a good thing, in the sense that that place was not for you. That place simply was not for you. Like, if you didn't get in, if they didn't want you in, that could have been protecting you from all types of stuff, seen and unseen, all types of evils and stuff. You don't know. But another thing, because people are going on the route of, oh, it's her makeup, it's her face, it's, she's just unattractive. And I think that for real, can I be for real? Let me be for real. Does it look like they're here to ball out in Miami? No, absolutely. I'm not getting Miami vibe from her outfit. I'm not getting Miami vibe from the makeup. It just don't even look like, for real. That's not the look I would have went for if I would have went out there. That's just the first things first. But we can dissect. We can very much so dissect. What? Now, is this girl personally, what is her name? Official C? Is she personally unattractive? I feel like in my hometown, she would not be considered unattractive. Like where I live at, this would be the littest bitch out. Because they like, I'm thick over here. Let me tell y'all what happened to me at the lounge. So I'm looking good, red dress, bodycon together, eating the girls down. I already know I am. You didn't really need to ask me nothing. I'm really not a clubber or nothing like that, but this particular person, they had like a free seafood night. I love me some seafood, so I popped out, showed my face. Went through the security. I mean, literally, the security was haggling me the entire freaking time, you guys. Like, I mean, from the moment that I stepped up onto the curb to even make it look like I was going into this establishment, like I was getting haggled. Now, it wasn't like I was dressed inappropriately. I didn't have on heels. I did not have on heels. I had on my summer slides, like summer sandals, Guess sandals. Really cute. I'll probably show a picture of them later. And red bodycon dress. Just so y'all can get into it. It's a simple outfit, simple looks, but it's cute. It eats. The body is giving what it needs to give. So, literally haggling me. He like, what you got? You got a book? The man was laughing at my Bible, y'all. First red flag. Why are you laughing at a Bible? Like, what's going on? Second, oh, like, how old are you? You don't even look like you should be in here. Look at you. You ain't got no meat on your bone. Like, basically saying, like, you look too young to come in here. And then was using my body mass, weight index, all of that to kind of explain why he thought that way. Did it hurt my feelings? No, but it was something that I noticed. Like, okay, so if I came in here, thicked out, like, would you have said anything to me? Because they first started talking about the book, but then it went on to the body. So I'm like, that's really how you felt. You know what I'm saying? Just weird. So these people at these clubs, they get paid to try to make people feel bad about themselves. If you look them up and down, they don't look like much themselves. These bouncers, they big for no reason because they got to be security. A lot of them are unattractive. Let me be for real. I've seen like on my hand a few cute bouncers for real. So yeah, a lot of these people, they get like they get this influx of power based off of their job position. So they're being told, hey, we want baddies in here. We want to make sure that the men have a nice night. Filter out who you don't feel like is appropriately dressed, appropriately looked from coming into this club. Given that person, this average person, that much power at a club, yeah, these people, they be going crazy. They be going buck wild with it. So I wouldn't be surprised that he had comments about her body or anything like that, because bouncers, they just say stuff. They just like to talk out the side of their mouth, side of their neck. Like, I don't know what it is, why they do it. Girl. And then I walked into the lounge, y'all, and I was probably like the best dressed in there. The best dressed female. Like, everybody else was wearing jeans and shit. So I was like, oh my God, like, did you haggle everybody else for coming up in here with some jeans? No, just a skinny girl. So, and I live in the South. So thick is coveted here. Like, this lady, I have a lot of women around that would consider themselves thick and are built just like her. Okay. So the people talk about the thick delusion. Yeah, in certain places, especially in you in the deep South, the body types are different. Like, she wouldn't be considered a complete no-go in my town. I don't know about the makeup because I really can't. I feel like she's pretty under this makeup. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the makeup was done very well for her skin tone. I'll be completely honest about that. Her makeup was not done well at all. But I do believe she may be pretty under that makeup. Let's pull up her TikTok, actually. I'll pull up her TikTok just so I'll be sure. So, yeah, it's not just a one-off experience. You're going to have people, you know, especially if they're haters, not be able to muster up a positive thing to say about your appearance, especially if they're haters. I mean, looking at that man, he was double wide, double cheeked up, like, and he was a man. So for real, I understood. Oh yeah, you wish your wife waistline looked like mine. I understand. You know, sometimes you just have to be able to have that energy. So I can relate to her in the sense that unwarranted comments about people's body. Sorry, y'all. Unwarranted comments about people's body is a no-go. Like, it makes no sense. You're either going to let them in the club or not. But, like, to try to make them feel some type of way, it's a power play move. To have unwarranted conversations about someone's body. Because, can we be for real? When was the last time you saw a bouncer who looked like hot shit? If he did, he wouldn't be a bouncer. Why would he? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they choose bouncers specifically because they're also super big. If I'm being for real. So my next question was, what did this bouncer look like? For him to say that somebody looks like this or somebody looks like that. But that doesn't change the fact that she didn't get into the club. Let's be for real. That didn't change none of that. But it did change the fact, it does change the motivation for why he would even say something like that to this lady. Like, you already didn't let her in the club. Did you have to make it about her body too? Like, I'm just going to be for real. Did you have to make it about her skin and her body? Or could you just deny her access without her feeling some type of way? But this is like a power play in the sense that they want you to understand that you do not fit in here. Whatever beauty standard is going on in this neck of the woods, you are not a part of it. And it doesn't mean that you are unattractive. It doesn't have to mean that you're unattractive. But it does mean that for wherever you are in that area, you're not fitting in. Some of the people are saying Miami is very competitive as far as beauty. Miami is known for being like, growing up, I always heard people say, we got to go to Miami to see those pretty girls. Like, the beautiful girls are in Miami. So I've always heard that growing up, of that being Miami's. She had lupus. Okay. So y'all can't really talk too much about her appearance. We don't know how much of that is affected with her health, to be honest. Is she thick? She's not fat. This lady is not overweight. She's not fat. No, I'm looking at her TikTok right now. Okay, these are her old TikToks. She has put on some weight. She has put on some recently. She's put on some weight. Her old photos looked very much so like snatched in all the right places. She is thick. She is, where I come from, they are gonna call her thick. Like, it's just a southern word. It's mean to call somebody fat. It's just mean to say that. So most people aren't gonna call you fat unless you're undesirably shaped as a big girl. Most people reserve that for like the apple shapes, the shapes that don't really have no hourglass, no booty, you know, those weirdo looks. Unica says, hi, hello. We're doing current events. So what's on the list? We have Miami, we have Ashanti and Nelly. Then we got the war on femininity. Then I'm out of here. I'm gonna be out of here. So yeah, back in the day, this girl was shaped nice. She's always been a bigger girl. Always. Let me pull up her TikTok so y'all can see what I'm seeing. So she's always been a bigger girl, but she didn't always have that midsection that I'm seeing. So I do think that in the recent years, she's gained a little bit of weight. She's definitely gained a little bit of weight. And another thing, if you're about to go out and you know you're about to go out of the country, you have to be okay with saying, hey, I got body goals that need to be meted before I even get out this country. You know what I'm saying? My body goals for when I go to Miami this summer is to gain as much weight as possible. I'm going to be eating very, very, very regularly. I'm going to be, walking around doing my big one. So that way my butt is looking good. So when I get into Miami, already slim, don't got to work about the slimness. Only thing I'm going to work on is making sure this butt look as juicy as possible. So when I wear my summer shorts, it look cute. So yeah, you got to have body goals prior to, okay, so she's from DC. Yeah. Okay. So I can talk about this a little bit more. Where I live in my area, which she's very close to my area, she's the beauty standard. I'm going to be for real. I'm going to call it what it is. She's the beauty standard in the area that we live in. Or even if she isn't the beauty, like the top 10%, the top 1%, what she's considered is the guy that every girl going want. The Pookie and the Ray Rays, she's hot commodity over there. Okay. In DC, where she lives at, she probably would have never had to experience any of that, because where I live, they're really not super strict about that body. Unless you're skinny. Okay. Unless you're skinny. Then you got the problems. They're going to start saying stuff about you. But at the club in DC, are they going to stop this lady and say you're too thick? No, because most of the women in my area are shaped like this girl. Sorry. So it may have been a culture shock, because a lot of them are shaped like her. Like a lot where I live in the South, babe, like everybody's big. It's weird to not be big, you know? So that when people be like, oh, I never experienced, that's why I'm trying to get out of this place. I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to go out and explore. So that way I can actually see how people treat my real, genuine body type. So I feel like it's more of like a switch. Like I might go to Miami and have a positive experience. We don't know, but I'm going to speak that over Miami. I'm going to have a positive experience when I go. I already look good. I know how to dress. Hair going to be T. You know, body's always on T. So not going to have these problems. But the same way that I just explained to y'all how that man tried to stop me and try to talk about me being small and little and peeny baby is the same treatment that she probably never would have got in DC. Because out here, they like to pick on the skinny girl or speak on the skinny girl's body as if she's unattractive, when they let women like this walk around all their life and they never say anything to them. So then when women like this get into an actual space where no, skinny is dominant, skinny's still T, just not in your area, but skinny's dominant, skinny's T, being fit is dominant, being fit is T. And if you're not fit or dominant, like you gotta at least have the money to fake it till you make it. So like BBL Central, right? Because she's not in those spaces, so I don't see her having a BBL. I don't see her or her friends having a BBL. So she don't have that pressure. She's from where I'm from, DC. So it's like, okay, no one's usually stopping a woman of this size to do anything, because we would consider her thick. I just wanted y'all to understand the cultural tones. She is thick to us. Now, a lot of people around us are fat, calling it thick. But in our cultural shift, this is what's coveted. So yeah, she was super confused. Yeah, she was super confused because down in the South, you know, it's okay to be bigger because most people are big. Even if you're like fat, most people are fat. You're not going to get isolated because you're fat, because most people are fat down here. But you will get isolated for having a nice body. So this is where it's kind of flipped. See, she's used to being able to walk up in a club and no one's saying anything to her until just now. So this is actually very interesting to see how beauty kind of changes throughout wherever you are. Okay, well, this is what she looks like. And like I said, she's not ugly. This girl is not chopped by any means. Look at this little her without her makeup. What I really think was, with the video that we saw, her makeup was not done well at all. I'm gonna be for real. In this video, her makeup was done very piss poorly. So whoever that lady was who did her makeup, sis, you need not go back to her. You need not go back to her at all. Whoever did your makeup, please don't go back to her, because she played in your face. Because this lady is very attractive, very beautiful. Now, is she bigger? She is. But where she lives at, her size wouldn't be a problem. I'm going to just tell you what it is. Because of her proportions, a lot of like what's considered thick around here is where your proportions of meat are. See, because she has a smaller midsection, like the midsection is not the biggest part of her body, she would be considered thick where we're at, because she has big boobs, big butt, but a smaller waist. Not a small waist, but a smaller waist. So she still like looks good for our standards. Miami standards, probably not. Now, I know she was told this because all I hear is horror stories about Miami. First of all, but regarding dark girls, I've never heard them say that Miami don't like fat women. I've only heard that Miami really does covet the BBL. So, yeah. Let me read some of these comments. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, the outfit. Okay, so I feel like the outfit would have been good for. Let's talk about this fucking outfit. Okay. Let's talk about all these girls. I'm done focusing on Cyrus. Let's just run them all down, right? She's cute. Is she cute enough to be the leader of this lady's group? Absolutely not. She should not be in the middle. She should be in the back. Okay, I'm gonna be for real. She looked like the main ringleader. She looked like the main one, the main life of the party. She's cute, but she should not be the main ringleader. No, ma'am. The hair is all good. The hair is tea. Her hair is tea, Cyrus. Now, the girl in the red, I really could do without the hair. I think that girl did their makeup because all of them got that bright under eye. And I don't think that bright under eye looks good on her or her. I'm going to just be for real. The bright under eye don't look that good on neither one of them. Now, I feel like y'all brought in these three girls when, for real, the girl in the back was T. She should have been the leader of this little group. Y'all see her? I'm sorry. I'm trying to show y'all her. She looks so cute. That girl in the back looks cute. She looks like she's eating. Her hair looks free-flowing and beautiful. Her makeup looks together. The outfit looks simple. She looked like she would have had no issues getting into this club by her dang self. So for me, this comes into another part. Stop hanging out with lame people. Lame. Only in the sense that, instead of just saying, look, you know what? It is what it is. We about to go somewhere else, girls. We look good. You sat outside this club and decided to complain. And I'm pretty sure that if that girl in the back would have walked up by herself to the club, she would have been able to get in. The reason why these two girls didn't get in is because their makeup didn't look that good. The makeup didn't look that good. The outfit was whatever. Blasé at most. I feel like I would wear what the lady is wearing, Cyrus. I would have wore that walking up and down the beach, the strip. It looks cute, Do it look like she's ready for club night? No. Now, this woman, even though I like the dress, I don't think the dress complements her shape the best. Being honest. I don't think they even prepared to come out here to Miami. I'm going to be for real. But how this outfit is built on her, the red is good. Don't get me wrong. The red is good. The makeup, the bright eye don't look good. I feel like she should have went with a glossy lip to match this kind of shiny leather. I feel like going with a matte red lip when you have this shiny, leather red dress was not a good look. I don't think it looked good like that, personally. Me personally. I think these girls had more working against them than they had working for them. And that's what it's about when you're a beauty. You have to have your beauty work for you. So, yeah. All I know is Miami is in fact the most bohemian. Okay. All I know is that about Miami is the fact that most Bohemians are there and Disney is there. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Most Bohemian women are very shapely. Now, they're even more shapely than American women. I'm going to tell you that right now. Women from the motherland or Bohemian women, they have that BBL out shape very, very naturally. They booty be looking up. So what I think that this girl could have did was utilize some shapewear. She got the boobies in the butt, but that midsection got to be squinched, babe. Just because it's BBL City. You can fake it till you make it. You don't have to go under the knife. But I think that putting a little bit more effort into the appearance could have helped them, could have not. But just something I just want to look into it. I just want to see, is there something that I'm missing? Bohemian. Bah. She says also, it's pronounced Bohemian. 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 Okay. Thank you. Rose says, hey guys, happy to catch this. Hi. Welcome. We're talking about current events. So the Miami situation, we're going to go on to Ashanti and Nelly, and then I'm also going to talk about other stuff. So for me, for the look, the makeup is not working in their favor. The woman's hair looks good. I think that the braids was a good look for this. Her hair, she had did this long lace front. I don't think it was an optimal look for her personally, but that's just my thoughts. That girl in the back, in the black, she did nothing wrong. The only thing she did wrong was hanging out with loser women who couldn't get into the club themselves. She said, okay, y'all, okay, leave them where they was and try to walk back in there. Because her makeup was good, her hair looked good, her outfit looked good. She was all the way T. The problem with this girl was she hanging out with un-T girls. You cannot be pretty in T hanging out with people who are not pretty in T. And then you have the unpretty in T girl walking up being the main girl in your clique, just by how they're already like, you know how they have like the girls of 3 and then the head B, HBIC be walking in the front, in the middle. She's giving HBIC energy. And when you're in, and I'm gonna be for real, if it's coming to a spot where you need your baddest on the floor, where you know that now I'm not sure, they may have just went out to Miami because they could have been able to afford it. These were the only girls who really, put their chips together. We don't know. But what I do know is when you're choosing to go on these trips, do plan to have your baddest heifers on the floor, because that's why so many people go to Miami as friends and then leave, not friends, because you're not honest about the desirability scale, which I don't believe is your friend's job to say, hey, girl, you uglier than me. You know what I'm saying? That's not your friend's job. Okay, if it's true, let the world tell them that. I don't think that should get in between a good sisterhood. But sometimes I feel like as Black women, we take somebody else's rejection as our own. Well, you rejected her because she's too dark, so you're going to reject me too. You rejected her because she's too fat, so you're going to reject me too. Now, if you're being realistic, let's say you're similarly shaped to this woman. Okay, maybe lose some pounds or do something before you go out to Miami to this particular club, because you've already been forewarned. But to the other women, because I was talking to my mama, and she basically was like, I'm not going. She told me, if you're going to be out there, you're going to be out there by yourself. I'm not going to be your wing woman. That was very mature of her. She's saying, look, I don't even feel comfortable. For all the things that I've heard about Miami this far, I don't feel like it's going to be a place that caters to me. I'm not about to be out there in the streets with you. That makes sense. So have these type of conversations going forward, especially if you planning on going there and snatching something. This is Miami. Rich men come there to party all the time. Business conferences all the time. Miami is like a literal hub for some of these industries. So having these type of conversations prior to, or at least being realistic in your mind when you had these friendships. Certain friendships are just for the office. Certain friendships, we can go out and about and we can, this reminds me of the Gorgeous Doll situation when she said that she didn't let her friend go courtside with her because she didn't fit the aesthetic. Now, do I feel like Dream Doll should have said that out loud? No. But do I agree with Dream Doll kind of silently? Mm-hmm. There's certain friends I'm not bringing. If I need my baddest to the floor, if a nigga said tomorrow, I need you to bring 3 girls and they all got to be bad. There's certain people I'm not calling. They could be my dearest friend. I could love them the long way. But if the ninja said they needed the baddest heifers on the floor, I'm not going to embarrass you by inviting you to be somewhere that I know you don't fit in. Period. So I think I should be a little bit more realistic about your friendships in the sense that you know where that lady rank on desirability. You know where you rank on desirability. Please stop inviting people to places that you don't want them to go, because they're crimping your style. At the end of the day, they're crimping your style. These girls really want to dress like that. I mean, what they were wearing was cute for where I live. But does it look like they went out of town? No. No. What's another thing I'm going to do? So what I'm going to do before I go out to Miami, I'm going to make this one of a goal, or at least try. Hopefully I can get some image consulting completed, or like personal outfits picked out by a personal stylist. I don't know how true this is going to be, but here's hoping I'm going to get some of my outfits pre-approved by stylists before I even go out there. That way, if he wants me to add something like, add this scarf here so it can look extra expensive, or add this so you actually look to put together, it's understandable. A lot of you girls, y'all think that y'all gonna put on a little 1-2 with a nice purse, and that's the outfit. No, the outfit shouldn't be like the purse. That's another thing. Your purse should not be carrying your outfit. You can't have a mid outfit and then think that you're gonna have this bad, because that's what girls do these days, especially in the days of Birkins and the days of Chanel's and stuff like that. Y'all be having weak outfits, little weak outfits, and then thinking that you're gonna add a purse onto it and that it looks cute. I just think that these women were dressed kind of basic for where they were at. Now, I'm glad that they went ahead and did this first. That way, I can know what to and what not to do. At a club, I'm thinking for a club like this, I think they should have utilized shapewear. Definitely should have utilized some shapewear. All of these women have a beautiful shape. Like, I don't think that any one of these women's shape is like out the way unattractive. Like, you could tell this woman is still going to go around and get drinks paid for her. She's still pretty, okay? She's still pretty. The makeup wasn't looking that good. And of course, I don't agree with the baby hairs dancing on your forehead like that. But her hair was cute. She has a cute facial harmony. She's just a little bit bigger. But where she lives, she would be considered T. So her, like, I feel like her purse don't match the outfit. That looks kind of mismatched. Just looking like he didn't put that much effort into it. Like, I feel like for the red outfit in particular, what I would have done, I would have added a glossy lip. I would have took that under eye out. Like, that little bright under eye is not cute. I think a middle part would have worked better for her face shape, just being for real. I just think that the middle part, like the side part, really didn't look that good for her. And then I think that if she would, that would have been a bad outfit. If she would have had a corset, but like one that goes on top of your dress that matches that color. First of all, take that purse out. That purse don't even match the outfit. I'm glad they didn't let you in the club. Y'all not even matching. Y'all not even matching. Take the purse out of the equation. She should have got a red corset, something like intricate, like maybe something golden with like a pattern. I have one, so that's what I'm thinking about. A nice little corset she would have put on top of the dress. That way she would have been able to cinch in her waist and then also make her outfit look a little bit more expensive. It looked like she got that dress off Fashion Nova, maybe Shein. Not like the dress looks bad, but it doesn't look good by itself. It's not the type of dress that it can carry an outfit. And then you have a purse that don't match. So for real, she just looks like she blase. So she really doesn't have the best outfit, but the outfit is on its way to becoming really cute. She just needed a few more pieces, a few more extras, and she would have been cute. If she would have had good makeup and a nicer, get up, I'm pretty sure they would have had a different scenario, because that girl in the back, that's why you really only see these two women in the frame. I don't think that girl in the back had any problems getting into the club for real. Now, I don't know if they're going to, like, if it's a group of 3, if they're going to be like, you two, y'all go home, and you pretty girl, you come in the club with us. I don't know if that's how they rock. I'm assuming if that's how they rock, that's going to cause problems. The guy probably thought, it's probably going to be easier to let all of them leave, but do I think they all got denied based on their attractiveness? No, I think the one girl in the back was attractive, but were they going to let 2 of these other girls in based off of the one girl's face card? No, it don't work like that. So you got to be matching with people that match your face card, match your style. And if they don't, at the very least, be like, okay, girl, we getting ready in the hotel. Okay, baby, take that purse off. All right, I'm going to help you with your outfit. All right, I don't really like that look. Y'all got to be able to be real sisters, real sisterhood. The club was very high profile, ballers, entertainers. They were actually allowed to attend just with a cover fee. Other women were allowed to free entry. Okay. So this is where we're getting to the meat and potatoes. Thank you, Rose. Because I didn't know. I'm like, what's going on here? So they were allowed in the club. They had to pay. And I make sure why they had to pay. They don't look cohesive at all. They don't look good. First of all, I'm not saying you have to match your outfits, but when you're going out with girls, it's okay for y'all to look cohesive, They have different color schemes, different patterns. They don't even look like they don't look like they're here together. I see girls all the time when they're going out, they match. Now, either they match looking good or they match looking bad. They match. Not saying they had to match, but I am saying that they should have looked like a more cohesive it girl group, especially if you're going to want to go, all 3 of us got to get in here. So they were allowed to come in, which makes sense because there is no case if he couldn't have denied them entry for real. So the only thing he could have denied them was free access, but that makes sense. If they were attractive, I think any other club, they wouldn't have a hard time. This one was super upper echelon profile-wise. Thank you. And I never been, so I will make a little bit of a point to write down motives in my little, my book. And I'm not going to give y'all too much away, but I'm going to give y'all something very special when I go on my trip, just so y'all can see a pretty dark-skinned girl do her big one. I just went to the club yesterday, or on the 4th of July. You think I had any issues about people looking at me or thinking I look good? No. And I won't even in my, I was at a bar that won't even, my own demographic. No. So everybody don't have these problems. But I'm going to tell y'all why they had these problems. Because it's a lack of knowing how other people see you. You know what I'm saying? Being for real, I feel like I can look at her and be like, because she's from DC, I could be like, okay, I can see that she probably not used to this treatment because these are the top outfits in DC. Now, they would have walked around their hometown. They would have looked like bomb. They probably would have felt like the bomb diggity. Like, no one would have stopped them and told them nothing. I'm telling y'all. But depending on the area that they're in, especially in this Miami upper echelon area, Mona being super high class, you got ballers up in there. You got ball players, rappers, entertainers. You got girls in here who they know rappers and entertainers in these clubs. You know what I'm saying? You got waiters and bartenders who know these guys as regulars. So understand that all of this has to do with business at the end of the day. Like, entertainment and business are hand in hand. So yeah. The business model for clubs like this is weeding and allowing attractive women in, because those are who encourage men to pay for bottles, drinks, etc., which increase profit, especially with a capacity limit. Okay, perfect. So honestly, if you're going to any club mid, that's not like the man, he ain't gonna want to say, let me buy you a drink, hun. You know what I'm saying? That's just not what he's thinking to say. If he don't find you attractive, this can happen to any girl. Before y'all think that it's just a big girl thing, like this can happen to any girl who is not, the guy is not attracted to you. So he's not gonna buy you a drink. If they let a whole bunch of mid girls into the club, the man probably not buying as many drinks. He probably saving some money, meaning that the club is losing money that night. So yeah, it happens. I'm not gonna say it don't happen. It definitely, girl. Yep. Especially with because some of these clubs, I believe Mona may be doing well. Some of these clubs aren't doing as well. So like, they have very limited margins for, error, for lack of better words. Let's see. Let's read a little bit of these comments. Someone said, cancel Mona Club Miami, submit a lawsuit for discrimination. Really? Is this a real thing? Give me details. Well, let's stop there. You would not be able to lawsuit anybody if they did not outrightly denied you from entering the club. If they said, okay, we need you to pay, we need you girls to pay. Yeah, it's underhanded as hell. They basically still called them girls unattractive. Like, I'm going to be for real. They basically told them, we don't want you in here for the free skis. You won't have to pay to get in here. So it was still underhanded by telling them to pay, especially if they were sitting there in a line watching girls. Yeah, you bad, come up in here. Yeah, you bad. Yeah, I love you. Come up in here. And then you get up on you and you like, $45, please. Yeah, they was being funny. So if they left and walked away, that was smart. But did she have a case? Probably not. And was it smart to come online? I don't really know. She got a lot of followers from this. So I don't see her really, like, I feel like she could utilize this and, of course, make a brand. You can always make a brand out of everything. But was it a smart thing to come out here and speak for, us dark-skinned women and say, well, they didn't let me in here because I was too dark and too thick? No, a lot of us, you knew that was going to come for your weight first. I don't even understand why you made it to seem like the too dark thing was the first thing that they said to you. I wish, and that's why I really want to go, because I want to just be able to see, like, really scope out what's going on in these clubs. Like, I want to be able to see who else walked in. If are they letting dark girls in? Was other dark girls able to go into the club but you? Or did you actually see, nothing but non-Black women getting in, and then they only stopped at you? And then the next question is, do you have any type of evidence to that? Did you record this? Did they say too dark and too thick on camera? Because if they did, you actually may have a case. But without that, it's all hearsay. And a good lawyer would be able to get that stuff thrown out, or a quick little settlement. I don't even see this. This isn't even settlement worthy, because people don't even take the conversation of colorism all that serious anymore. Because you have these stories like this where they're making it seem like it's colorism, but they don't have any real evidence to prove that. So it just sounds like colorism crybaby behavior. Nothing. I agree with the colorism crybaby behavior. I don't believe in that slang at all. But I will say, in this climate, you got to make sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, because colorism crybaby is now a term that they're using. So you're going to have to come with the real receipts if you're going to be accusing anybody of any isms. Just being for real. This is the type of world we're living in today. Shout out to Club Mona. Sounds like my type of club. Look at him being funny. I'm going to go to try to get in. I need a good lawsuit. Me too. Girl. Miami been colorist and body shaming women for years. But the thing was, a lot of these women, they want to be accepted by the beauty standard. So they really did. They put on their best and thought that that was enough to be able to have them compete with the women within Miami. Somebody said that Miami girls, they be working out multiple times a day. Pilates is like a part of their lifestyle. They came out the womb talking about Pilates. So I wonder how true that is. She says, wow. I don't know what you're saying wow to, Unica. Was it what I said? Even if she's chopped, socialites or those that know the right people can still get in. Networking supersedes everything. Yeah, the reason why I wanted to talk about it, because I actually did a live stream a few months ago, or maybe the last month, something like that. And basically I was talking about Miami. But this is so funny that it came back up because I was talking about Miami. I was talking about how there were some dark girls who had bad experiences. But in the midst of me playing my video, there was a dark girl who had a great experience. And that was the number one thing that she said. It was the ugly dark skin trope video, my live stream. So let's go ahead and take this off. Stop sharing. It was my other live stream where I was talking about the ugly dark skin woman trope, which most people feel comfortable with these type of women speaking on us and saying that, you know, this is like our experience. Let's show. Y'all gonna make me the fool up in here. Y'all gonna make me go all out. What outfits? I don't know. I just feel like, honestly, the outfits wasn't giving. The hair and makeup won't giving like that. Much was not given. Like, the body wasn't body-yaddy, and they could have faked it till they made it too. Like, don't get it misconstrued. Like, if they would have had like that little bitty waist, I'm pretty sure they would have been able to get something from somewhere. And are they not clubs that cater to the BBWs? Like, I mean, another one. Like, was there not a BBW club they could have went to? There were comments talking about call ICE on the club. That is terrible. Don't, y'all, I'm not getting into that. I don't even agree with those types of sentiments. There's a lot of dark-skinned baddies in Miami. Most of the ones given a hard time were overweight, to be honest. So that's what I'm saying. But here's where I'm coming from with this, right? As a skinny person, I also get these same comments in reverse, vice versa, about my body and a space where being skinny is not in. You don't have girls around here doing Pilates 3 times a day. You don't have girls out here even going to the gym. They may have a gym membership and never even use it. Where I live at, it's not that competitive. So I understand, like, they were given a hard time because they were overweight. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is they didn't even know they was overweight. They didn't even think they was fat for real. Notice how she said too thick. Like, she wasn't even in the mindset of thinking that she was going to get ate down by these club standards. Because where we come from, like, it's just these types of girls get catered to. Like, it just is what it is. Skinny will always be in. Anyone who says anything otherwise is a coat. Skinny is in depending on your body shape and composition. Now, people talk about girls that are built up and down all the time. Like, there has to be a nuance with this, right? Skinny is in until you get to like Pro Anna, and then we're like, girl, go seek some help. Hospital. Skinny is in if you have, a butt and some boobs. Skinny is in the terms of Marilyn Monroe, okay? You don't have skinny women like Caitlin Clark being the face of desirability. No. I don't know. It's Caitlin. Yeah, Caitlin Clark is skinny. You don't have, but there's also that awkward skinny. I was watching a video and they were talking about the different types of skinny. And she was talking about the awkward skinny. And a lot of awkward skinny girls, they also get these same treatments in reverse. So it doesn't have everything to do with like the size you are. It has everything to do with your shape. I'm going to tell y'all 110%. People really don't give a freak about your size. It has everything to do with your shape. Now, if you have a desirable shape, meaning a little bit of, pushing for the cushion, You can put that, even if your waist isn't the smallest, you can make your waist look smaller just by, cinching it in, using corsets, whatever, that is still optimal. That is still optimal. But I see people getting picked on for not having no booty or no butt. Like no booty or no boobs. Like, we gotta be for real. Like, it's not just like, oh, you skinny, you about to win out there. You gotta have assets. Me, I was blessed. I'm blessed and highly favored. Cause girl, I'm blessed. Like, I just have to be for real. Like, I have that. What I'm saying is I'm trying to get my butt bigger, but I already have the boobs. The butt matches like what I eat for that week, because that's like my butt reserve. So whatever, like, any extra weight that I get automatically goes to my body. And do y'all want me to do more skinny videos? Because I've been lacking on the skin content because I really wanted to be in love with my body, and I've been building this love for it. I'm small, but I have a bubble butt, like a baby bubble butt. Sometimes I get bubble butt, but sometimes it be a baby bubble butt. And then I also have big boobies, like Pamela Anderson. Really big boobies for my skinny body. You know what I'm saying? So my experience walking up into Miami gonna be different than the girl who up and down. I'm gonna be for real. I'm gonna just tell y'all what it is. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. It's your shape. Every woman, you can be beautiful or thick and just have a very, very nice curvaceous shape, and people love you for that. Now, are you going to be mainstream accepted? Probably not, because the bigger you get, the more niche the category is. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Skinny is like small, medium, size 0 to size 4. Let's see. What is the size 0 to 4 in women? Size 0 to 4 in women. Do y'all want to see it too? Should I be looking it up on my laptop instead of my computer? Because I'm just trying to pull up the size chart. Dang, am I size 4? What the freak? Okay. I don't know my size, y'all. Okay, there's a couple of things that I do need y'all help with as far as desirability and beauty, because I don't even know my size. Like, people be like, oh, I'm a size 6. I don't know. Girl, I'm just cute. That's just all I am. I'm just cute. In the Caribbean, it's like people wouldn't mind if you're something. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like, there's this one lady, she kind of thicker. Like, she's on YouTube. She's from Jamaica. She does like crab. I like to watch her for like my crabbing videos. She likes to catch lobsters and stuff. Her name is Tiffany Silver. Let me show y'all, because she's I hope it's right. Tiffany Silver. She's Jamaican. Trying to show how thick she is, because she looked nice, and she people would consider her bigger, but she really built nice. Like, she built real. That's what I mean when I tell y'all, these Bohemian girls, these African sisters, whoo, the Lord has blessed them. The Lord has blessed them tremendously. I remember being in this is her, Tiffany Silver, very pretty girl. She started her whole YouTube channel based off of her body, and also being like kind of like a tomboy. Like, she likes to catch crabs and catch lobsters and go mudding and stuff. Like, she likes to do stuff that typically feminine women wouldn't do. But I know 110% she winning, because she look how pretty she is. She bad in the face. This is why when people try to talk against unambiguous beauty, I'm like, y'all really don't know nothing about it, because these girls are beautiful. Look at her. Do you think this girl would have had no issue? And she's slim thick. It's about how you build. Like, it's about your shape. It's about that shape. It has everything to do with that shape. Yeah, she is in the Bahamas. Yeah, she likes to catch crabs. Y'all see her? Y'all see that body? Body, yada, 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 yada. Ooh, gorgeous girl, brown, chocolate skinned. Very pretty face. Don't even need no makeup. Look at her smile. She looks happy. Glowy skin. She's slim thick. Now, I'm pretty sure somewhere in LA or somewhere in Cali, someone would consider her a fat girl, because I remember back in the day, like, when we was going on Hollywood standards, when we was going based off of, remember like when back in the day, Raven Simone was considered like the fattest a woman could get? Like back in those days, early 2000s, I don't want to go back to that weight scale. That weight scale is too damaging to a lot of women. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if we're going off of those standards, let's say like smaller women, or we're going to LA, she would be considered, someone would call her fat or say that you're big. You know what I'm saying? But doesn't change her desirability. Her shape eats. You know what I'm saying? Her shape eats. Like, it has very little to do with your size and most to do with your shape, which most people can't change how they're built. Their fat goes where their fat goes, and that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's size 6 is also, we're gonna include. I'm gonna find the size chart, but I'm also gonna play my last video, my live stream that I made about the situation. I streamed this 2 months ago. The ugly dark-skinned woman trope and why it's usually a cover for self-hate. Why they like to have women like Cyrus, you know, talking for us before they have women like me speaking for us. You know what I'm saying? They love women like Cyrus's story. They love to talk about, you know, women like Cyrus and how they're unable to get into the club and it's strictly because they're big, when that really just ain't the case. Not the full case. That's not the true 100% story. Their shape was kind of, the hair wasn't all that cute. And then coupled with the outfit, they lost. Especially if you're coming to a place in Miami where everybody is their best dressed. Like, if everybody is their best dressed, and you kind of came in here like, not because of anything that they did, but simply because of, like, where they're at. Like, where they're at, that outfit may have been looked like chump change to them. They probably see girls walking with red bottoms on a daily basis. So them coming in with the Shein heels didn't really do what they thought it was going to do. It really didn't eat the way they thought it was going to eat. And look at Rose.
Their gorgeous experiences in Miami. And now you tell these women, like, what do they do wrong now?
Dark-skinned women.
So, and I'm not mad at it. So pretty much you're saying dark-skinned women, go to the high upscale areas. You're gonna get the best treatment there because people there praise, not praise, but people that uplift you. They uplift you. So they be better. But y'all don't be in the comments. Y'all tell me if I'm lying. I know y'all had y'all experiences too. Like, man, we are praised when you go to places where people are, I guess you would say they got money, they're rich, whatever the case. They're not necessarily looking at your skin. They're looking at how you carry yourself, your beauty.
Clock that.
like everything about you.
Hold up. Now I gotta stop it. They're looking at how you carry yourself. Boom. Miami just seen a dime and a dozen of ratchet hoes tearing up they streets. I'm gonna say what I had to say. They done seen a many ratchet bitches come up and through there and think they're gonna take Miami off by storm. When you know how to act and carry yourself with a little bit of decorum, have a tiniest bits of self-awareness, it can save you from a lot of these scenarios anyway. I will say, as a dark-skinned woman, you know, if I'm walking around places where there's not that many dark-skinned women, I do get treated so much more, way better, because first of all, I'm defying stereotypes. Because a lot of people, if they're not around black people like that, especially not around dark-skinned black people, they're relying on the media, the news, and stereotypes of black women to kind of give them that connection. So a lot of people, they assume off rip, especially if they don't know you, they assume off rip based on how you carry yourself, if you're ratchet or not, how you dress, if you ratchet. Like, I'm pretty sure with like the baby hairs and the braid combo, they was already like, yeah, this girl may be a little up, she might be a little turned up. So when you have some type of decorum, when you're walking around in places that you've never been before, and people aren't used to seeing that decorum on a woman that looks like as yourself, you get treated way better. And that's my experience. I'm always super nice, always super polite, always looking cute, smiling. So in these scenarios, I do get that. I be getting people looking at, like, when I'm in scenarios where I'm around nothing but white people and I look really, 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 really good, or lighter people, you know, lighter people, white, lighter people, blah, blah, blah. I'm not around a whole bunch of black folks. Not like in my hometown or nothing like that. When I be acting like, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, yes, please. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh my God, you gorgeous, you black, and you know how you got some home training? Girl, come over, sit over here with us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Actually, sit right here with me. I want to talk to you. I want to get to learn more about you. I thought you was going to be like this other black girls up in here that was going to have an attitude and pop her mouth and like, that's what they're thinking. That's what they're bracing themselves for when they see you. Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that that's what I noticed. A lot of a man, he was talking to me. He was talking about some if you have he was talking to me. He was talking to me. He's basically saying, like, we're having a conversation and he's basically talking about, like, well, I don't want you to get mad at me and you start cussing me out. Da, 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 da. And I had to look at him and pause and say, sir, I don't cuss at grown men. Like, I had to look at him and be like, sir, I don't cuss at grown men that I don't know. Basically having to put it in there like, yeah, you may have had bad experiences with black women that would cuss your ass out when they don't know you, but I don't cuss at men I don't know. I'm not going to cuss you out in the middle of the street. I have to break down that barrier because there is not a lot of women that are out here acting like they got some home training or no sense. So a lot of it does have to do with the mentality too. So I'm gonna let them keep talking, but I do agree. I 100% agree. Because when I be going out, y'all, these manners get you somewhere. That Southern hospitality, it gets you somewhere. Okay. And I think that's another thing too. Like people who come up from up north or they're closer to up north, they don't use a lot of like politeness. And that's why like they be getting treated like that because y'all rude. People from up north is rude. And they use that and they try to come down south where Southern hospitality, respect is key here. Like you need respect. You need Southern hospitality. You need to know how to use yes ma'am, no ma'am in these spaces. It impresses people. And the South, good manners impresses people. So yeah, I agree.
In their vicinity, you're of something. You know what I mean? Of some sort of magnitude of importance. You know what I mean? And people recognize that. Not to say like I'm not saying, oh, you got to go get the best of the best. Nobu is a very expensive place. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you go to like low, like it's hard for me to really explain. All I'm saying is that if you when you put yourself around people who could care less what your skin looks like, but more so how you carry yourself and where you place yourself, you're gonna get a whole different experience.
Okay. So how can how can they find those places? Because it's hard to say go to a place.
Well, I found it on TikTok.
Okay, so do your research, ladies, before you go to a new city.
Do your damn research. Look up the lit spot. Look up the nice hotels. Look up the like. It's really important to have an itinerary. Let's start there. It's very important to have an itinerary to know what you're doing when you get out there. Because if you go out there just off the strength of thinking that things are just going to get handed to you, that's low vibrational thinking. I feel like because if you plan it, I promise you, I guarantee you'll execute it once you get out there.
So you got there, you were Nobu. How was that what was your experience like on the first day?
Oh, it was princess treatment from when I came out of another freaking black truck. Okay. Like very much princess treatment, waiting on you hand and feet. People there are so friendly. The white old men, the white old ladies with their families. Like everybody was so kind. I was fucking hit left and right with compliments. Like I felt very much confident in myself. First day arrival.
Old white man, old white woman, which is it's kind of ironic that they're the ones who are showering you with all these compliments compared to quote unquote the other places that you will go to where you will find people who look like you who are just middle class. Mm-hmm. So are you saying that rich old people not glorified but appreciate dark skinned women more? Let's keep it real.
I don't even want it to be on no fetish or nothing vibes. Like they just genuinely, they too damn old to be still racist. You know what I mean? Or still colorist or whatever. If anything, they're literally looking at you like, "Wow, what are you doing so I can look younger?" For my old eyes.
Wait, was it only?
Okay. Now I'm not gonna play this whole video. Y'all see it, okay? I already did a video about this. So take a check at it, look at it, always go back to the old game, y'all. I always talk about this stuff tenfold, and that's why you'll see me not continuing to do videos about the same old topic. It's because, like, sometimes I already covered it. I already spoke about it. So, yes, that lady, she had a great experience in Miami. She planned, girl, she's like, shout out to her loss. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even know who she was partying with, but it sounds like she was partying with some big dogs. So she had a great experience, and she came in there already having a game plan. The game plan is go where you're celebrated. The game plan is have an itinerary. The game plan is know people. Get to know folks. And even if it's like your first time, be open, even in those spaces, to meet and network. I feel like going out of the city and out of your country, that's so freeing anyway. You don't have to be bogged down with who you usually would be, in a space where people have to know you every day. So party, have fun, be the life of the party. Should you be, my dark skin sisters, should you be stopping any plans that you have to go to anywhere because of somebody else and what they said? No, mom. Because a lot of women, they're not even willing to do what you do. They're not even willing to go as far as you go to make sure that, you're not even in this situation. Anything can happen when you're not self-aware. When you are, coming from small town ways of thinking, you're not going to know everything. That's why you're supposed to experience it. But what I will say for the girls, please have cold hard facts before you start accusing people of colorism. Please have cold hard evidence before you start accusing people of colorism. Please. Because you don't want to be embarrassed thinking that it's your skin tone when it's something that you can change. The reason why people are so comfortable going, well, it's my skin tone first. Well, because you can't change your skin tone. So obviously it's a discrimination there, But if they say, oh, we don't want you in here because you're fat, that's something that you can change. You don't got to be fat. You don't have to do that. So, I think that's why people will opt out for saying, oh, my skin tone. And when I talk about colorism and stuff, it's based off of lived experiences where people have outrightly said, my skin tone was the reason for me being harassed and discriminated against. I need that to be very understood for the lurkers. Like, anytime that I've mentioned colorism, it had been explicitly stated to me that due to my skin tone and color, or whatever feature I had as a monoracial Black woman, that they was gonna pick on me or say whatever. So, do I think that she experienced colorism? She may have. She very much so may have, that Cyrus lady. But she also may have experienced a little bit of fat phobia. She may have just experienced not really being that girl for real and was really upset about it. And that's okay. But what's not okay is shaming and scaring other girls into feeling like, oh, well, we're not going to be able to make it out here. Let me just not even go. Because you have people that are thinking like that. Well, I'm not going to even go to Miami, girl, because I don't even want them problems. Honestly, if you're already going in there with a particular mindset of, okay, well, my skin tone is holding me back. No one's going to like me because of my skin tone. Like, you're going to be giving off that aura to everybody. You're going to not be as welcoming. You're going to be a little bit more guarded. And being more guarded is going to make people not want to talk to you. You walking around with your face looking like, Unless you're super, super pretty and you meet somebody who's not intimidated by that, like, most people going to leave you where you at. So, yeah. If you're going to accuse somebody of colorism, please have 110% facts behind it, because the colorism crybaby rumors is coming up and through here, and you just don't want to be caught on that side of the fray. I feel like there's no reason to even, like, the discrimination against people should not be you should not be making the victims of discrimination feel some type of way about being a victim. You should be making the perpetuators of these isms feel some type of way about it, So yeah, what I think her overall mistakes were going to Miami, she definitely came in there a little entitled, because the fact that she even recorded a video lets me know that you thought that you was going to come in there and eat. You was under the assumption that you was going to go in there and shut shit down. And then when that didn't happen, you decided to record. Let's see. Does she have, well, I'm I'm the person. So I'm gonna check to see if she has, did any like. Before we go on to the next viral story, I'm basically just gonna let her talk about her experience at this point. Just after everything, I'm gonna let her reflect. So then I can finish up with this, and then we're gonna be on to the next topic because I'm over this. Over it. Over it.
Because of our skin color and because of fat phobia. And I'm just here to make it clear about this story time that it's literally South Beach. Let's just start with South Beach. I'm hearing different rumors that it's Miami. Yesterday, I was invited out. This is not a club that I wanted to go to. This is a club that people thought would be a good place for me to go with them. I decided to go. It was called Club Mona, somewhere on South Beach, somewhere, right? We went. We was dressed up. We was told that we need to wear heels. Cool. I'm there. We get there. The girls talk to the promoter. I really can't hear what they're saying, but I could just tell that is a bad vibe going on, whatever the case may be. Boom. When we leaving, we basically was letting know that we wasn't getting in. But they also said that we paid a certain amount of money they was gonna let us in, which of course we was not gonna do because why would I pay y'all money and y'all didn't even want me in y'all club in the first place, right? Apparently, black girls are not welcome in South Beach for one, because of our skin color and because of fat phobia. And I'm just here to make it clear about this story time that it's literally South Beach. Let's just start with South Beach. I'm hearing different rumors that it's Miami. Yesterday, I was invited out. This is not a club that I wanted to go to. This is a club that people thought would be a good place for me to go with them. I decided to go. It was called Club Mona, somewhere on South Beach, somewhere, right? We went. We was dressed up. We was told that we need to wear heels. Cool. I'm there. We get there. The girls talk to the promoter. I really can't hear what they're saying, but I could just tell that is a bad vibe going on, whatever the case may be. Boom. When we leaving, we basically was letting know that we wasn't getting in. But they also said that we paid a certain amount of money they was gonna let us in, which of course we was not gonna do because why would I pay y'all money and y'all didn't even want me in y'all club in the first place? As we walking away, just to get away from the scenery, time to go home, it's over and done with. Somebody stopped us. It was a promoter. He literally was like, "Hey y'all, let me tell y'all the truth." He was like, pointed dead in my face and say, "You too dark, you too thick," and also they don't let people wear them shorts. When he said dark, of course our heart just like literally sunk because it's like dark is crazy. Fat, that's the one thing, but at the same time, it's still wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I'm not skinny. Like you feel me? Cool, and it don't hurt my feelings. But saying that I'm dark, that's colorism. That's
Okay, y'all. So the truth is coming out here. He pointed at her. So a little bit of what I'm saying and what I'm thinking is, I mean, if he looked at her and said too dark, I'm inclined to believe that. She was the problem. Not like she was the problem, like she did something. They didn't want her in the club. I'm thinking that the other girl that was also more chocolate than her, I'm thinking she would have been able to get into the club. Him starting off by saying, okay, let's be honest here. He was shooting them in between the eyes. Do I think that people care about an attractive person being dark? No. No. But he was still wrong for even like mentioning her skin tone. Like I told y'all, if you didn't want her in the club, I'm sorry, ma'am. We're full to capacity. We cannot let you in. Even if it's a lie. Even if you don't even feel like you should lie. You want to be honest. Okay, cool. I'm gonna be honest, ma'am. We don't want you in this club. We have a particular, like, it's a very, upscale night tonight. Our clientele, we just want to be able to cater to our clientele tonight. We have to deny you access service. Here's another place that you could. Most of these clubs, they own like 2 or 3 or 4 bars too. Like that's another thing too. So there wasn't nowhere else they could have sent them to. And we don't even know how they was acting in this line. Like there's so many questions rather than answers. They should have not mentioned her skin tone. Period. Point blank. They also really shouldn't. It's none of their business. As a grown adult, you know what you look like when you woke up this morning. If you don't feel like changing it, fixing it, going to Pilates, doing you, she knows that she's not skinny. So do you have to sit here and let her know something? Really, not really. Now, him doing that, he put his business in a bad scenario, and he won't be strategic at all. He should let that lady know, hey, we're full to capacity. We really can't even let nobody else in. We are saving a last few spots for very special people that we know are going to get this place turned out. Are we saving this part for locals? Whatever lie he had, because you have to lie at your job sometimes. Sometimes in order to make sure the customer isn't like taking things the wrong way, you do have to lie. Him saying, oh, I'm gonna be honest, like he really wanted to like humble them girls. So I don't know, like if they came in there like, yes, we in Miami and we know we about to eat the down, we look cute, and that's why, because men will do that. I will say that part. Men will be like, okay, these girls coming in here a little too hot and popping, and they don't even look like nothing. Let me go ahead and bring it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, I could see it too. I just want to find out all sides of the story. I just want to figure out like why we're here. Dave Gutierrez says, and he looked like he attractive too. Y'all need to understand that the baddest of the baddest women go and live in Miami. The clubs want bad women because the men that spend money want to be around bad effing women. If y'all don't understand, then you should not go to Miami. He said that in all caps. He won't play with nobody. The men in the clubs don't want to see big women. They bring a lot of money to these clubs, so they cater to them. Simple. These are all men in the experience in these comment sections, though. So they're trying to tell her the truth. Was a bouncer at a club. These clubs make money off high rollers. They don't want to see no big girl around if they're dropping thousands on a section. Just the reality of it. So some guy, a random guy promoter down the street says it's because you're too dark. Now you put that on the club that didn't say that on blast. Racist, even though nobody at the front / club told you while you was denied entry. Irresponsible and ignorant. Okay. So this wasn't even a bouncer at the club. This was a promoter who probably was there at this club, saw what was going on. They already denied them access, and he walked out and told them, well, this is why I think you didn't get into the club, because I think you're too dark and I think you're too big. So this wasn't even told by the club. Per what these comments are saying, they're saying this is some random promoter. I don't know if he's a promoter at this club or if he's just a promoter that was trying to get in. And he's saying like, okay, this is why. So I don't know, but these men are basically saying like, girl, we notice how none of them say anything about the skin tone though. So to say like too dark as the first thing, like they said I was too dark and too fat, baby. They probably said that. I think that too fat was probably the most important part of this sentence. I don't even think you should have listened to the dark comment at all.
That's being a colorist, and that's not okay. Mind you, before we left.
So a promoter said this, not the owners. Yeah, and the girl is beautiful. Like, personally, if she lost a little bit of weight, like, in my opinion, she got all the makings of being an it girl, like, from, like, the outside looking in. The only thing is she's a little bit bigger. And I don't even think that makes her unattractive. She's really not unattractive. That makeup that she had on did not look right with her. She also didn't look right at all in the makeup. The makeup didn't look the best. But I can say that and be for real. Pretty Princess says, I am a size 6 and slim with curves. Size 6 is not fat at all. It's average. Yeah, that's what Rose was saying. I'm not sure if you saw her comment. Size 6 is normal / average weight. Average weight. So yeah, she said that. And I say, for real, as long as you be able to walk up some stairs, I believe you're pretty healthy. Like, I really am not about to sit here and tell people, get into the health Olympics with nobody. If you can walk up a flight of stairs, a few flights, and you feel decent, you pretty cool. Now, I think it's better to be in shape than worried about what, how big or small you are. Also, I agree. I'm a dark-skinned woman and I'm not overweight and experience a lot of racism and colorism with my family. And I went to Miami. Okay, so drop some of your experiences. What spaces were they at? Because you're actually trying to help us girls. I'm planning on going to Miami. So I need to know where to avoid, where not to avoid. of course, what I'm saying is he's wrong for mentioning what she looked like anyway as a reason for why she's denied access. But what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is girls don't have these conversations. Like, I feel like this is not something that the baddest bitch would walk up into Miami and have a conversation about. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know, where were you? What did you experiment? Like, and this is not your fault. I'm just saying, who did you go to? Where were you at? What did they say? And let's see if we can like figure out how to lead them people in the dust. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, like I told y'all, when I went to the club, they were saying something about me because I'm skinny. Like, literally, like, it just, people are always going to have something to say. And that's what I want y'all to understand and get into your head. There's always going to be something that somebody's going to say about you when it comes down to making it like a reason for you to feel unwanted. They're always going to have something to say if they're insecure people wanting you to feel down and out. Like, there's always going to be something, but how valid those concerns are, depending. Because due to this Miami situation, that man who said I was too skinny and he really didn't want me, let me into the club, like, that may not be my experience nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? He may have saw this woman and flirted with her up and down the street and let her into this club because that's what he liked to look at. You know, it's just, someone's always going to have something to say. Like, there's always going to be personal preferences, little sprinkled through. But I feel like your personal preference should not mean that you get to speak out a turn about somebody else and what they look like at the end of the day. Because you saying my preference for, let's use my example. So when I went to the club, just in case you guys are new, I went to the lounge. You know, I was looking cute. I did not have on heels. I had on these these guest slippers, summer slippers. They looked okay for the occasion. It wasn't all high maintenance at all. But he said something about me being skinny. I don't really remember, but something. And I was thinking in my head, like, that was so unnecessary for you to even mention. Like, I don't really care what it looked like. You better let me in this club. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like, everyone has their own experiences. So my experience, does that mean that skinny is still not the universal, you know, median for attractiveness? No, that's just what that one guy said at some random club one night. Some weird ass bouncer. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to take some of these things with a grain of salt if it's not constructive. If it's constructive, like us saying, girl, you may have benefited from, you know, a quick little 1-2. That may have, you know, been a constructive criticism. Saying, hey, you just too fat, too dark, you need to get up out of here. That's not constructive. You shouldn't listen to people like that. Pretty Princess says, I didn't go to the club. I went to school at FAMU and experienced a lot of racism from Cubans. From my roommate, I experienced racism in the stores and from an Uber driver. My mom told me she met up with a guy. He's from Miami, born and raised. And he said that she wouldn't even be able to have her position if she lived in Miami because that's how colorist they are. They even gatekeep jobs over there when it comes to certain skin tones. So I'm not saying that you're lying at all. I'm just saying I haven't experienced that. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I have heard Miami is notorious for being colorist. I've seen pretty dark-skinned women, small, skinny, petite, or nice bodies. They've spoken out about having negative experiences. That one girl who had that positive experience that I just shared, she seemed to be more in the celebrity crowd. She was more around celebrities. She knew promoters. She knew club owners. She was meeting up with people. She was being the life of the party. So, you know, you got to, and this is where I'm going to come up with a series called Rebuttals. You got to have rebuttals for colorism. You got to have rebuttals for skinny shaming. You got to have rebuttals for these types of things because there's no reason to internalize it when you really could just reject it in the moment. Like, in that moment, reject it in that person's face. That way it's not in your head or in your mind 2 months later, 3 months later. Oh, well, that man told me I was too fat and too dark to come into the club. You have a rebuttal for that man right then, right there. That way it doesn't linger on your mind, you know, going, you know, 2 years, 3 years past. You know what I'm saying? Because I do know certain things that people say about you, like in your body or whatever, that lingers. That's not something that you can change. So I do think that lingers. She means Florida International University, I meant to say. So I will be by your side on that, Pretty Princess. I have heard people say that they just treat darker skinned, real dark skinned people, okay? Bad. And it doesn't even just happen in the clubs. It happens in the job market. It happens, you know, in school. It happens at regular places. So I'm not going to ignore that fact. So there's very real situations of colorism, clearly. This particular scenario, I think that this lady, if she didn't get this man saying it on camera, I think she should have probably took her L in a little bit more of a graceful manner. And if she was planning on making any discrimination clauses, that she carried herself a little bit more. Of course, she's allowed to be upset. She's allowed to be upset. But you really gotta be on 10 with the rebuttals. Like at this point, like you can't keep letting people say whatever they want to say to you. And then that's gonna fly. And then cry on the internet and think that the internet is going to do something for you. A lot of the times, the internet is only here to be able to clean up after the effects. You got to be able to stand up for yourself in the moment, you know? And I was really skinny, like size 2 back then. So, okay, boom. It has been debunked. Colorism does exist, especially in these places. It's coffee table talk. Most of the residents, most people who actually are very much so, you know, keen to the Florida area, Floridians, and they are also dark. They experience it. That's another thing I don't get. Why do y'all be listening to light-skinned people talk about colorism? I cannot stand when a light-skinned person gets to speaking about what they've never seen as far as colorism is concerned. Girl, you're not dark-skinned. Stop talking. A light-skinned woman really should stay out of colorism business. Like, that's really what I'm thinking. Like, girl, you coming on, because I saw a TikTok talk about something. Well, I'm black and I've never experienced colorism. I've never seen it before. Babe, you're light skinned. Like, stop speaking like you know what we're talking about. That's why I can't stand, like, I really like truly dark people to speak, because even them brown skins, girl, them brown skins be like, they don't have a solid baseline for their own skin tone, because they're brown skin people. They get their skin tone changes depending on what group they're in. Like, some people might consider that person to be dark skinned. The next person might consider that person to be a lighter skinned person. When you dark skinned, like you on that spectrum, baby, and like ain't nothing like changing, you get a more consistent treatment because people consistently see your skin tone as one thing. I do agree that we need to focus on taking better care of our bodies, and a lot of black women are overweight, but slim black women experience racism and colorism too. Yes, that's exactly what my channel is about. We also experience colorism, and you can't keep saying it's because we fat. Like, we not fat. So when we experience it, it's like, okay, so you're just coming up with stuff at this point. But let me play the rest of her talking. Okay.
I seen another girl getting it. I just knew the girl was going in the club because she was pretty. She was not thicker. She was thick, but she wasn't big. I'm like, oh, I bet they gonna let her in. Well, no problem. I see her walking down the street, and that's who's also in the video in the red dress. They didn't let her in, told her she was too thick. As we walking away, just
so the girl that she won't out with those women. This is what, so the story's starting to make sense. She caught that woman walking back after she had also gotten rejected and decided to make a video. But can I be for real? That woman in that red dress didn't look all that bad for me to be shocked that she got turned away. So they weren't all coming together at 3 in a group. These were the outcasts who were walking together after they got denied from the club.
ready, time to go home. It's over and done with. Somebody stopped us. It was a promoter. He literally was like, hey, y'all, let me tell y'all the truth. He was like, pointed dead in my face and said, you too dark, you too thick, and also they don't let people wear shorts because me and the other girl had on shorts. When he said dark, of course, our heart just like literally sunk because it's like dark. Mind you, the promoter let us know that too thick was just the nice way of saying it. Basically saying that we're fat. So that means there's a fat phobia and what? That's not okay. Okay? People kept on saying like, girl, how you don't know this happened in Miami? How you don't know Miami like this? I'm not from Miami. I'm from Washington, D.C., literally. Like Chocolate City. It's okay to be dark in my city. When we go out to the club, girls do get in the club. It's not a problem. As long as you dress the way you're supposed to be dressed and you're pretty. Or whatever the case may be. You looking at.
As she just said, she's from D.C. Okay. Now, in D.C., a lot of people, I'm not going to say in D.C. specifically, but I will say that a lot of folks aren't we not known for our face card here. We known for putting that shit on. So if you know how to dress out here, you're getting into the club. That's a little bit like, that's why you guys see that I focus on a lot of styling. Pretty privilege don't really do much out here for us. Like, you gotta know how to dress first and foremost out here where I'm from. Okay, where this lady from, where I'm from, you gotta know how to dress first and foremost. So I can see them saying, yeah, the shorts really weren't that good of a look, because the shorts do look a little, casual for the occasion. So she's not lying. Chocolate City, DC, she would have been able to walk up. And again, another thing, in DC, a lot of people are fat. Like, it's just a lot of people are bigger. So she would have never had someone isolate her simply because she's bigger, because where she's from, most people are big where she's from. Okay. And most people, they're allowed to, especially like someone was even saying that like in colder climates, you can get away with just putting that shit on because, the outfit carries. But in hotter climates, your body's going to carry a lot more because it's not about what you wear. It's about what you look like. So cultural differences, little minute cultural differences that I'm seeing popping up in between her conversation and then their conversation in Miami. Because some of the guys were like, Club Mono's right. Miami got a standard. Like, a lot of people not playing. They like, girl, Miami is known for this. You need to get into it or you need to get out of there. It's strict.
Looking how you're supposed to look at a club. It shouldn't be a problem. People that, to your opinion, might not be pretty, they still get in our clubs. We don't do that. And then for the people that say I'm lying, I don't have to lie about my skin. Someone talk about my skin color. Why would I bring up my skin color? I love my skin color. Why would I just randomly bring up somebody's skin color? I'm out here in Miami on a full paid expense brand trip right now. I have no reason to do that. I'm here on this trip of all races. A company that was started by a race that's not even Black. Why would I make this up to cause commotion? Like this, they want me to be silent, and I don't feel like that I need to be silent. It's wrong. It's not okay. Y'all using Black people for entertainment on y'all website. Rick Ross, Kodak Black, using on them, taking all these club photos with them, but you can't let their people come in. Oh, I'm not good enough to walk in the club or even pay at the door to come in your club. But you wanted a certain amount of money to let us in, like you were just gonna rob us clean of the money. And then all the hate comments, it's ridiculous. It's discrimination. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Not only that, those type of words like, I'm built different than another female. Like, y'all hurt them other girls. Them girls cried. Them girls were upset. Them girls are now have insecurities. Them girls are now thinking other things about themselves. Like, it's just unacceptable. Like, I don't know how to say it. I didn't even know the video was going to do all that. I never knew that so many people was going to stand with this. Like, it's wrong. It's wrong. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's standing with me beside me, literally DMing me on the love, telling me how y'all stand with me and y'all support me, and y'all really going hard about it. I saw today that the club cut their comments off. They showed that y'all making that noise. The club owner is muting his stuff as well. It's the truth. No, I don't have to lie about it. Club Mona, what's good? Mind you,
no, y'all always worried about stuff not being right. Sometimes it just is what it is.
see, this is exactly where I get annoyed. We have another Black female that's using a platform to low-key live off of it is what it is. So let's think back to when we were in slavery days or segregation. Was it okay for the white people to say, it is what it is, it's just what we want to do? Or let's just say a crime is committed towards a loving family member of yours, and then the world just responds to it like this. It is what it is. It's just what we do. Hello. We need to focus on what's right because we live in a world where we have rules and what's right is right and what's wrong is going to be wrong. You literally have a platform and you consider yourself a professional yapper, but you want me to adjust to the women that live in Miami when I was visiting. We did go somewhere else. We did not ask to spend our money there. We were turned away. That's what I literally said. For you to still sit here and keep them on, y'all want to keep going. Look, it's a club. We went and that's what happened. So it is what it is, but guess what is wrong? And we about to make it right. Thank you.
No, y'all always worried about stuff not.
So that was her response to everything. And, you know, even though, to be honest, do I 100% agree with her approach? I'm not mad at it, actually. There are some things I think she could have tweaked, but for real, she did handle it like a grown woman. She spoke up. She said what she went through. She's standing 10 toes down on it. And I do agree. It being is what it is don't have nothing to do with it still not being discriminatory. Now, y'all can say that, oh, well, it's discriminatory against her fatness, not her darkness. Regardless of, both are very wrong calling it what it is. Now, I expect in the entertainment center, she does look way better. The makeup literally was taking her out. I can't wait to do honestly, y'all, you know, and this is why I have to talk to y'all, because I be forgetting like what y'all be needing help with, and I don't be dropping the videos because I be like, you know what? These girls know everything. No, they don't. They need help. That bright eye makeup don't look good on everybody. It looked good on like 2 people from what I've seen. So the bright eye look is ugly. I'm just saying, for most, especially us dark girls, bright eye don't make no sense. Me, I'm somebody who naturally has bright under eyes. I hate that. I want my whole face to be chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense to you? So when I see people go out their way to get features that I naturally have, and I'll be like, girl, like the bright eye, if you naturally have lighter under eyes, you'll understand that like it's just a part of how your undertone is. But like for people to be cosmetically trying to put on this under eye or this bright under eye make no sense, because it don't even go with your phenotype. Let's call it what it is. God didn't give you bright eyes naturally, bright under eyes. He didn't. So utilize, especially, I'm gonna do dark girl makeup tips and dark girl fashion tips and stuff soon. Don't forget it. But I just feel like, you know, you guys gotta learn how to dress better. You guys gotta know how to do that makeup. Make sure. Now, I'm gonna be candid. I need to learn how to do my freaking hair. Okay, everybody got an Achilles heel. My Achilles heel is my hair. My hair does not like to be tamed. My hair does not like to be managed. My hair does not like to do what it's told to do. So for me, somebody may look at me and say, girl, that girl need her hair done 98 times 10% of the time, because my hair is not going to do what everybody else's hair does. My hair does not do silk presses. Unless I have a real professional doing my silk press, like it's going to look crazy. I just know that about my hair. You know what I'm saying? It's better for me to go for curly. So then people be like, oh, well, why does she tells us to wear our own hair textures as weaves? I'm not going to do that. Well, you look crazy, sis. If you're going to keep walking around with other people's hair texture slapped across your forehead, you look crazy. I'm going to tell you that right now. You don't look good. Most of y'all don't look good with it. Telling you what it is. Wear your natural hair texture because it works with my features better. Me wearing my 4A hair looks great with my face. The straight don't even look as good with my face as the curly hair does. So y'all got to be realistic about what your beauty works on. Those 2 girls, they were a little thicker. They could have benefited from using some shapewear. They definitely could have benefited from not doing the makeup. Like that, their makeup both looked kind of crazy. Yes, and if it's straight, make it yucky. Yes. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys don't understand how happy you guys. Like, I be feeling like, sometimes I be feeling like I'm just a lone man out here speaking sense. But you guys restore my faith in humanity every time I come on live. I appreciate you guys so much. She looks better without the makeup, yes. This is why I like your channel. I like how you focus on dark-skinned women can improve, but you also don't deny colorism or racism. Exactly. That's why the strategic is needed. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, because I've been through it, girl. Like, I'm dark my whole life, like always. So I've had people isolate me due to my skin tone. Wasn't nothing that I could change, but what I could change was my mindset towards it. First, I needed to be aware. I didn't know that I was being discriminated against due to my skin tone. So first, I needed to be aware. That was my Chrissy phase. Okay, so this is happening. This is real. Okay, cool. After the learning about it phase, the next thing you have to do after awareness is acceptance. Literally. Some people have this way of thinking. It may impact me in certain scenarios, but if I know how to identify those scenarios and move around, it won't be as damaging to me. Unlike colorism used to be really damaging to me because I didn't know what it was. I had no idea that there was a discrimination against people with darker skin tones. I didn't even know. I just thought I was Black. I didn't even know that even amongst my own people, that my own people would separate me due to my skin tone. So that's why I don't even like when light-skinned women be speaking on colorism. You don't even know. Stop talking. Please stop talking if you do not know what it feels like to be actually of the most chocolate complexion, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your school class, whatever, and getting that cold shoulder. Because I remember, not to make this too much of a me thing, but I will say back in the day, like I remember like, I'm thinking we all the same, we all Black, right? And then people out of nowhere, me minding my Black ass business, someone, well, at least I'm lighter than her. I'm sorry. There'd be kids. They said, well, at least I'm lighter than her. I'd be across the room minding my own business. But somebody needed to use my skin tone in order to make themselves feel better. Clock it. A lot of these exoticals around here. So yeah, I recognize the mentality. I'll never deny that. Because I would just see how me being pretty and dark-skinned and minding my own business disrupted the ecosystem so much. Like, it'd be one, pretty light-skinned women don't disrupt the ecosystem. It is within your stereotype to be pretty. It is within your stereotype to be seen as attractive. Actually, ugly light-skinned women disrupt the ecosystem. Y'all saw how they treated them exoticals? They were like, wait, these aren't even cute girls. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how the difference is. When it's a pretty, and I do know, and that's why we're very different as light-skinned women and dark-skinned women in the sense that how people react to our beauty. So when you are a light-skinned, unattractive person, people react to that beauty like it's going against the grain. Like that's so, they react to that the same way they react to a pretty dark-skinned girl. It's like outrageous. Like, oh my gosh, what? Like people are damn near ready to do backflips because y'all see it. When y'all see unattractive women who are lighter complected and they get all this pushback and they're like, well, why? I'm just living my life. Because you're going against the grain, honey. Most light skins are stereotypically attractive. Stereotypically. I'm not talking about what's real, what's not. Stereotypically, the stereotype is that you're cute. So when you're not cute, you disrupt the status quo. Same thing for us dark-skinned women. Stereotypically, we should not be considered globally universally attractive. Just stereotypically. So when we are, and they can't use fat, they can't use any other thing, they have to resort to isms, and they feel bad. So they try to hide it. Oh, I'm not using isms. It's just because you're fat. No, you told her that she was too dark first. Then she was too fat. Meaning that, and of course, other bigger women, they're going to have the same experience. Like, they're going to feel like, okay, well, I'm big. I was supposed to talk about Ashanti, but I'm not. Don't nobody care about Ashanti. Y'all don't care about Ashanti and Nelly, do y'all? Because I really could care less to talk about it. But I'll do it if y'all want. But like, yeah. What was I saying? You may feel like your shape is not optimal, so you get treated bad because you have a bad shape. But you don't get treated bad because you're unattractive. You just don't have a nice shape. I don't know how to explain it. For me, it's my makeup. I can only do light makeup, like the no makeup look. Me too. And I struggle with my eyebrows, my blush, concealer, lip gloss, still clear. Exactly. So every woman has an Achilles heel. For y'all to be sitting here acting like y'all is 10s, like none of y'all have an Achilles heel, that's a lie. Some of y'all, now there are 10s who they're good at all of it. They know how to keep their hair done. They know how to keep their nails, like the face card is eating, the body's eating. That's what we call total packages, like the full, like the total package, which I tell y'all to be on my channel. But on the road to being a total package, some people naturally have an Achilles heel. Some people have multiple Achilles heel. Some people are facially not looking right, their body not together, and then their hair never done. Like, so they just toe out the frame. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yaki is the best. I just straightened out my Afro curly, so it gives Yaki right now. It's so effortless. I love it. I'm living my best life. Like, I don't have to wake up and blend nothing. Colorism is such a weird concept. Y'all, give me a moment. I gotta take a sip of something. Don't nobody want to clear their throat on camera. I don't want to clear my throat on camera. So, yeah. Colorism is such a weird concept. It is. It's not something that can be quantified. Like, you cannot put it into a tangible, like you can't put it down on a table. A lot of it is words and microaggressions. You know what I'm saying? You really can't, like, it's not nothing that you can. Same thing, like, racism can be proved only because of the law. They were able to prove racism through the law, but you know what I'm saying? Like, colorism don't really have that same pool. Oh. They're also very intimidated by in-shape dark-skinned women. Exactly. Very clock that tea. Please, can someone clock the tea? The amount of hate I get from other women I don't even know is insane because I dress up, take care of my hair, and work out. Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that girl, like where she's from. I actually know their mentality because women like Cyrus, they are catered to where we're from. Because most people like that thick. But not only most people like that thick, most people are bigger / overweight where I live at. So you're not going to get isolated by other big women for being fat. That just doesn't exist. That's not a concept that exists. If you walk into your job and you're the only skinny person there, I don't give a F, you know, what people are saying. That's why the statistic is so high. Like, you're going to get isolated from being skinny. It doesn't matter what the world standard is. In your niche standard, you're not fitting it. So, you know, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't want to have this lady completely feel like, oh, well, you know, she's just tripping. No. Everybody gets it from different sides of the pond, depending on where you are. That's why you need to go where you're celebrated. So what that lady needs to go ahead and do, stay at her hometown. She don't need to leave. She does not need to leave her hometown at all. If she does leave, she needs to go ahead and do a big glow up session before she do. She don't need to go ahead and have no plans of moving nowhere and trying to make it outside her hometown. She knows that where she lives is where she's going to get the optimal amount of treatment. Now, if you happen, you know, you're not getting, like, let's say my scenario. If I go to Miami and act up the way I think I'm going to act up and get treated the way I'm perceiving myself to get treated, because y'all, I'm already up on game. I'm already on game. I might have to be making a few switches and moves, you know, in my lifetime. That's what I'm saying. Go where you're celebrated. Truly go where you're celebrated. Part of that means going out of your comfort zone. Part of that means, you know, and it'd be scary. I'm an introvert. I like to be in the house. I made my house, I'm gonna tell y'all, bought a house, made it just so comfortable, just as comfortable. I don't want to leave this place. It got all my favorite stuff in here. It got the food I like to eat. It got the cushions I like to sleep on. It got everything in here. I'm pretty much, it got, like, everything is so perfect, you know, in my home. I don't need to go outside and look and go run for attention and validation. You know, people who do that, they make it a point every weekend they out and about. Sometimes that's an indicator that the home life don't be as, you know, as popping as they say, because they're looking for escapisms. I like my house, but part of liking my house is I got to be able to go outside sometimes, baby. Go outside, get out of your comfort zone, see where you're getting treated, see what's happening where you go. And wherever you go, that's wherever you are. And then if you notice in a particular area, oh, I'm out here and this is nice. I could get used to this. These men is talking to me nice. Like, I like this. This is something I could get used to. Sounds like you need to make a switch and a change. So that's what I think personally. Like, that's honestly what I think. I think that for real, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it just means that you're living life. Like, is this so bad to live life? Some people got things they got to work on. Colorism is impactful. Even when it's enforced, it's only by the least powerful group of people, Black people. So it's still nowhere near as bad as racism. Let me reread that because I don't feel like colorism is impactful, but even then, when it's enforced, it's only by the least powerful group of people, Black people. So it's nowhere near as bad as racism. Exactly. Black people ain't got no... Y'all know what Black people ain't got. Y'all know. We're all aware that Black people don't got no real authority nowhere. Not in paper. Not in legalities. You know, online. Think pieces. Conversations. They may have their little 2 cents. But that's all Black people got for you is 2 cents on the dollar. Nothing else. Okay? So, yeah, that's why I think that getting away from it, I really don't feel that bad about, like, accepting that is way of thinking, the isms and upholding isms is the main reason why Black people ain't nowhere today. I can understand that to not take it personally. Black people have led to their own destruction simply by upholding isms that were never meant to keep them in a place of winning. So when I see y'all do it today, I be like, oh, they ain't learned nothing from their ancestors. Well, those natural selection, The fools will do what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? Black people, y'all need to stop upholding them isms, y'all. That's been the lead to your downfall generation after generation. Every year, y'all get caught up by the same billionaires and millionaires get caught up by the same looking women. You ain't never to keep no wealth in the racial group. Why? Because a lot of people, they think that by marrying into another racial group, aka utilizing isms to their best favor. If you're a dark-skinned person, a lot of dark-skinned people, this is something that one of the girls clocked on the YouTubes. They said that dark-skinned people, a lot of unambiguous people in the community, they'll utilize other people in their proximity to isms in order to get their privilege cards. True. You see it with reproduction. You know what I'm saying? You see it with reproduction. Most people are mixing and matching. Like, it's very rare that I see like 2 Asian people together as a couple, or the Hispanic community don't have these problems. Hispanic community is completely straight. But in America, like, most people are mixing and matching and going where they're celebrated. So they're utilizing other people in their culture in order to kind of social climb. And I think that's a beautiful thing. That's what America is built off of. We're a boiling pot. But this is what we're talking about. So you have people with like, how does this kind of tie back into the Miami situation? You have people that are prioritizing a particular aesthetic and phenotype for optimal domination. You saw it with like Hitler and what he did. Like, Hitler thought that the Arabian race was optimal. Whole time, the fallacies of Hitler was he won't even blonde-eyed or blonde-haired and blue-eyed. You know what I'm saying? So by upholding a thought that somebody else or another group holds more privilege or power than other groups based off of looks alone, it's always been a fallacy, because most of the people who push out these fallacies don't even fall into their own, bubble. Hitler he didn't even have blue eyes. So like, for him to say that made no sense. He was aiding in his own downfall. Same thing with a lot of these current girls, coveting features they don't have. I'm gonna just be for real. That's not conducive neither. I enjoy my features, my phenotype, how I look, actually. That's why Black people who face colorism are better off extending their horizons to all groups of people socially and culturally. That is a good, I'm gonna be for real. I don't have these problems nowhere else. Like, it's only in the BC where I gotta sit here and fight for my life about colorism. Everybody else gets it with no argument needed. I don't need to, white people get it, Hispanic people get it. Like, it just be your own. Let me go ahead and finish these comments and then I'll be out of here. That's why people in the hoods live in A, B, E, C neighborhoods, predominantly Black areas, face colorism the most. True. And I am someone who grew up in predominantly Black areas, because that's the only thing they have really to separate themselves. We all Black, we all Po. So it's kind of like, oh, well, she light skinned. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the only thing we had to differentiate ourselves at that particular time. From what I noticed, it's a human thing, not necessarily just so much like not so much of a thing that people are doing consciously, but it was almost like a subconscious thing that people were doing. Because then when I got in my white neighborhood, the skin tone was never the conversation. That was never what we talked about. Like, not one time, So interesting to see how behaviors switch or live. She meant live. I'm sorry. Some people actually grew up being perceived as ugly until they did things to highlight the best assets of themselves. I experienced this, and I'm in the middle of the road of terms of looks. Girl, tell me about it. I'm one of the last people who actually had a real tween stage. You know what that means? That means like I really was a real tween for a minute. For 3 years, I had a real tween stage, and that was every bit of awkward. I got my boobs before I got my butt, so I was all lopsided and top heavy. I didn't know how to do my hair. I did learn how to do it, and once I learned, it was up for the girls. But like, I just had a real awkward stage too. So in those areas, I feel like those areas are really beneficial for my intelligence. So when I'm not focusing on my beauty, that's when the intelligence gets up. Because now I get to focus on, not just how I'm being perceived, but how the world moves due to something as fickle as looks. Like, attraction being for real, attraction is the first step, and it's like usually the last. It's never the be all, end all, be all. You know, it usually is our most carnal desires, our baseline, and our baseline is not the most positive. And not only is it not the most positive of our baselines tend to be rooted in evil intentions and practices. Let's be for real. You know, when we think about things twice and 3 times over, that's when we have a more in-depth opinion. Back to how I feel about the girl in Miami. Do I feel like she's not allowed to talk about her experiences? She is definitely allowed to talk about it. She's definitely allowed to say what she needs to say. That's what happened to her. Like, why are people trying to sit here and police what happens to other women? That's what happened to her. Now, you can have a conversation about why that happened, but the guy who was involved in the story, meaning the guy who discriminated, he said it was because she was too dark and too fat. Your opinion of her body size don't mean anything because the opinion on the body size changes. She may be considered a beluga in LA. I'm trying to tell y'all. California, they get real strict out there. They're eating peas for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know? So yeah, y'all may call her fat, but in that lady's hometown, she really is thick. And she really don't have these same problems. So it's just where you are at the time. She says, yeah, I love staying at home. It's so comfortable here. Girl, I say that every day, every single day. I be like, it's so comfortable up in here. Like, it's just lit. Yeah, same. I went from being perceived as ugly and being bullied or ignored to being sexualized by men and getting hate from mean girls. Are we all the same, people? The thing was, here's the thing. I was more of like a messy type of girl. I like to play in dirt. My hair, of course, like I tell y'all, my hair is my Achilles heel. So I never like to get my hair done as a kid. Like, it just hurt. I'm really tender-headed, so I don't do that. I always was just cool with the dudes. So being cool with the dudes, you don't have to worry about attractiveness. You're one of the guys. You're a part of the bro team. So that was lit. That was a lit part of my life. And then when I started utilizing men for utilizing my attractiveness to get privileges from men, because being the bro really don't give you no real. Being the bro don't give you no. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Being that man homeboy or bestest girlfriend is not going to make you the apple of anybody's eye. You don't get any perceived privileges from being a nigga's best friend. So, once I got cute or whatever, oh my gosh, the unattractive women came rolling out. Mad and shit. Just terrible. And then the sexualization was crazy too. I really didn't appreciate the sexualization I got from men. I felt like that was uncalled for, unnecessary, because both sides of the coin really suck. Being seen as unattractive sucks, but being overtly sexualized, oh, that's worse. I would rather be left alone. You know what I'm saying? The authoritative that enforces colorism is a grimy Pookie / Ray Ray that has no social standing globally. So he thinks that he can denigrate Black women, so his standard holds no holding anywhere else globally. Exactly. Most of the time. That's true. I live in a diverse, quiet neighborhood in the suburbs with more Black people, but when my husband and I step out of the neighborhood or go somewhere, we are often the only Black couple. Lots of people are not a lot of people are not at the top. Can I tell the real, before I get out of here, I'm gonna tell y'all what that real is before anyone else tries to steal it from me. Top of the most of the people who use the mixing game, not think I have a problem with interracial relations, just saying I have a problem. Well, not a problem, but I'm noticing the psychology behind it. A lot of people that are the bottom tier of a particular community, they are the advocates of leaving and going somewhere else to be seen, to rig the system in a sense. So you won't ever see the top 1% in attractiveness of Black men or the top 1% of attractiveness in Black women hating on their own phenotype because they are attractive regardless of their phenotype. But when you have unattractive, people in that niche, in that group, they know they're unattractive. They know they're not at the 10%. They're not going to get the optimal treatment in their community. So the only valuable thing for them to do is to migrate or relocate or, go. So this all has to do with locations, desirability, global standing, and their regional standing as well. It's a regional thing. Things change from coast to coast, place to place. Everything is not a one size fits all. You know what I'm saying? So the many people that I see who are Black men that don't even like being seen next to Black women, they can't stand. I don't date Black girls. they're usually the ugliest of black men. They have to say that. They're unattractive. From typical attractiveness. Also, let's talk about how they took down my men video. It's on my membership. I'm not going to put it back up because the girls, I will address it at the end, but, you know, blah, blah, blah. But that's not just black men, y'all. She says black men are so big on this. They utilize it the most, but black women are starting to do it too. And I'm noticing that it's the most, the not the 1% of black women who are really attractive, but the percent of black women that are average or below, they're the ones who are always going to say, oh, well, go where you're celebrated, because they're not celebrated where they're at. Me, I could be celebrated in the hood. I'm celebrated in the upper echelon areas. I'm celebrated with white people. I'm celebrated with Hispanic people. I'm celebrated everywhere, except in the BC, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But even when I go to the hood, it's still lit. Like, I look cute in the hood. I've always, like, it's just, that's when it comes when you're being exceptional. But I don't expect everyone to be exceptional, okay? And I have to work to be exceptional. I don't wake up like this. Girl, it requires hair getting done, skincare routine getting completed, clothes being put on. Like, it requires a whole lot of 1 step, 2 step, 3. So the people who they don't have any versatility in those ways, they have to pigeonhole themselves to a particular group of people and a particular narratives. Swirling is epitome of this. The divestors who have black sons but are talking about black men because they can't stand black men. Usually the bottom tier of black women, nobody wanted them slim pickings. So they have to go somewhere else in order to fluff up their social standing. Girl. In the hood, I get too many stares. I feel uncomfortable. You gotta, okay. Are you looking like you're not really supposed to be there? Are you looking like you feel nervous? Because you will. If you looking nervous and like you're not from here, what you doing here, you're gonna get noticed. It's gonna be like, who is she? Because we know everybody who walks in the hood. Like, it's like, even if it's not, we know, we know. So if you're looking kind of nervous or blah, 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 you could just be pretty. But if you're looking a little uncomfortable, people may be picking up on that. For me, I get compliments. Like, I just get, hey, queen, you look beautiful, blah, 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 passing. Super respectful. Like, I don't even get the... Now, when I go to the gutter butts, now, this is not the hood. This is talking about the project. There's a difference between the hood, like a lower ecom area, but it's still safe, and then the jets. Like, this is where the worst of the worst live. Now, in the jets, there's something different. Okay, you don't want to make no eye contact with nobody in the jets, for real. And if you don't look like you belong there, like you drive a nice car, they're looking at that from when you roll into the vicinity. Like, if you're driving a nice car, you got nice clothes on, you got this nice purse. Me, I look nice. Everything about me looks nice because I like nice things. So when I pull out, when I pull up to the function with my ceiling missing, you're gonna notice that. When you're gonna notice my car, you're gonna notice. Then when I could step out the car, what shoes I'm gonna wear? They're gonna notice, oh, well, this is my purse. The purse looks nice. When I reach into my purse, I'm gonna grab my wallet. My wallet looks nice. So you don't look like you're supposed to be there sometimes. So that does happen. And in the worst of the worst gutter bus scenarios, you do get catcalling. The catcalling happens from folks that know they can't afford you and know they wouldn't be able to get you. So notice that when you go to the worst of the worst, there's always some pookie up in the cut sitting on the side of the road talking about something. Hey, go girl. He's trying to publicly humiliate you because he understands that he wouldn't be able to respectfully, have his way with you, just simple put. He wouldn't be able to come up to you and get anything. He wouldn't be able to get your number and get no access, nothing. So the only way that he can try to salvage his pride is he's going to try to get access from you publicly. So if he knows you're going to be embarrassed. He knows it's going to be like, oh, you're kind of calling this lady out in public in front of all these other dudes. So if you ignore him, it's almost like, oh, she won't bout it. She just whack. That's what happens when the pookies be calling you out. But that's because they can't get you. Like, they have no access to you. So, like, the only way they can access you is to catcall you. And that's pretty unfortunate. Yes, you are right. I never had any issues getting a black man, no matter what country he comes from. I've always got attention from them. Yeah. The only problem is when you get to like the hood gutter butts, they're just a little unevolved yet. So they still think in Blackistan, BC ways of thinking. But once you get outside of that, like, I'm not gonna say there's anything wrong with tribalism. People have a right to say they want to be with who they want to be with. My channel is about the why. I don't give a freak what you choose to do. Why do you choose to do what you do? And a lot of the times, self-hatred is a culprit. And that's okay. Like, if you are somebody, you started your family off self-hatred. You don't like the way you look. You found somebody who looks opposite of you. Y'all got a beautiful baby. That's okay, but be real. That's what it is. That's the truth for divestors, aka the swirlers, aka the black first baby mamas. That's what I call them. They the black first baby mamas. All them divestors. Every last one of them. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the same thing too with the self-hating dudes. Like the self-hating dudes that they just can't stand black women. That be their problem too. But I'm not gonna lie to you. It is statistically works. Unattractive black men, they babies look cuter if they actually like mix. Like, I'm gonna be for real. I'm gonna just call it what it is. It's basically like natural selection doing its big one. Like, natural selection is always gonna do its big one. The unattractive man's, best bet of getting an attractive baby, completely switching up that phenotype. So whatever you look like, get the exact opposite. It's just a simple strategy. Simple breeding strategy. I don't really believe in breeding because I don't got no kids, but people do. Like, when they have kids and stuff, they have like a breeding kink. So that's interesting. Yeah, them people that be outside them stores, but just understand they talking to everybody. They're down bad on their penis and they just don't know what else to do. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? Down bad on their penis, just out and about. I get looked up and down, catcalled. I know that you're really somebody who deserves my time if you can walk up to me quietly. If you can walk up to me quietly and speak to me, I already know. Oh, this might be the one. He got some sense. He got some sense. I'm always looking for sense in a good man. I remember hearing a black man said he needs someone to balance him out, laughing my A off. Yeah, they say that. Kodak Black, what do you say? I don't want to be with no black B. I'm already black. That's what they think. Like, it's not something that's wrong or right. That's what they think. So for people to sit here and play crazy, like, y'all don't know. Y'all ain't never heard that before. Stop lying on the internet. I don't get it. If you're unattractive, you probably gonna wanna get the opposite of you, bro. That's the smartest thing for you to do. Okay? That's the only way your genes and genetics are going to be able to survive the ugly that you've been passed down with. Okay? So yeah. I don't have no problem. This is why I know like colorism is such a fake thing, because these problems don't exist outside of the community. Like, it's only in this small little pocket. Like, if you put your head in the sand, then it can be your reality. But once you take your head from out of the sand, it's like, okay, this is not true globally. So with the last few things I'm going to talk about, I was talking about Midman in my video, and I might redrop a new, I don't know. What I will say is to my subscribers, like, look, how I talk with y'all is not always going to be PC, but this is a public forum. So like, y'all have to be kind of respectful. They was calling the boy DL in the comments, and that's probably what got my video taken down for the cyberbullying and harassment claim. If you need to speak like that, or you want to speak like that, join my memberships. I'm not PC at all. I'm not a PC creator. I say that if somebody look a little fruity to me, I'm gonna say he got a little sugar in the tank. I don't think that I gotta be politically correct about that. I'm not being discriminative. I'm just saying what it is. Do I think that boy personally, I don't think that. He probably was just stating his opinion. He thought Lil Baby wasn't ugly, y'all. He was standing 10 toes on that. He was like, Lil Baby not ugly. Y'all playing his face. He was allowed to say that. Because it's a public forum and because this is my channel, that video was doing really well and it got taken down, and it cannot be, it was re-uploaded, but all the momentum it had for my channel basically dropped off. You guys have to be kind in the comments. Please try to make constructive criticisms outside of just blatant random assumptions about people, because your assumptions can be wrong. My ex used to always tell me assumptions make an ass out of you and me, and it did on my channel. I ain't got my video, and I'm pretty upset about that. And it was my subscribers who caused it, so it has to be addressed within my subscriber base. If you want to talk how you want to talk, take it to my membership. I put the video back up. I'm gonna put it on my channel so y'all can see. I put the man video back up. And I have more things for y'all as far as like what I'm going to be doing for my channel. But as far as the public forum, you have to keep it respectful, friend. You got to keep it, factual based, because without it, I'm going to just be deleting comments. And I don't ever delete comments. I feel like everybody's grown. They can fight for themselves. They can say what they want to say. They can hold their own nuts. But if it comes to a point where another one of my videos, hard-earned videos, is taken down because of y'all, I'm deleting comments, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Because people be even accusing me now. Oh, one of my comments got deleted. No, baby, you probably said something that you weren't supposed to say, and YouTube flagged you. I don't delete comments. So any comments that ever got deleted, like, it's never been deleted. Yeah. Why YouTube panders to men. Look on my YouTube channel. There's a little sneak peek of who I am in my body. So yeah. Buy into the membership. I'm going to be posting more stuff, period. I'm still trying to figure out the format of how things are going to look. So give me a moment. But on a public forum, meaning my public page, y'all going to have to keep it respectful, keep it cute, and keep it classy in these comment sections. Because I can't have no more videos being taken down. My channel cannot afford that. Dang, I saw that happen. Yeah, girl, that sucks. I mean, that video was doing well too, and I was calling them ninjas out. Like, I was like, finally, like, somebody's gonna tell them. But it is what it is. I didn't feel like re-uploading it because at that point, that was just all that trouble for nothing. So it's just gonna be the start of my membership. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But that is the new policy. So if you see channel stuff getting deleted, comments getting deleted, it's because I don't feel like it fit my sensory. And if it didn't fit my sensory, you're not going to be able to say it. You're not going to be able to talk to anybody how you want in my comment section, because I, as a creator, have to account for that. So yeah, I have a lot of like pretty girl. This does start off the Pretty Girl July series. I feel like for real, styling up, body up, hair up, acknowledging your Achilles heel is the first thing that you should do. What are you not that good at? Is it makeup? Is it hair? Is it the weight? Is it the dressing? That way you can actually hire personalized things for you so you can look your best always. Girl, I'm going to do my best to make sure that this Miami thing happens. Okay? So I can give y'all some personal content on my membership page. Just of my outfits and stuff, like my products, because there's no way I can show y'all just by being faceless. So there's certain things that got to change. Understand that. So yeah. What else? I didn't talk about Ashanti nor Nelly because I just stopped caring in the middle. I stopped caring in the middle of whatever was happening. Lastly, I feel like Black women, you really need to be aware of that. There is a war on your femininity. Okay, they're trying to make it so that most of you guys identify with the overlooked archetype. Don't. There's ways to bypass that. There are ways to get over that. Staying where you're at and hoping for a different result is the literal definition of insanity. So always personalize yourself, your brand, your femininity. And I'll talk about other things later as in relation to my channel. And Pretty Girl July, we're going to be focusing on pretty girl money, pretty girl looks, pretty girl styling, pretty girl everything. Like, oh my gosh. Hair, everything. I big chopped and I'm working on growing out my hair right now. Perfect. Right now I'm also trying to get my hair down a waist length, but I've been on a waist length journey for like years now. Like, it's never happened. So hopefully I can get my hair back to bra strap length, and then I can talk about being on a waist length journey, because I've been on a waist length journey my entire life. Okay. Right now I have a sew-in in, so it looks like my actual hair texture, but it's around where my next hair goal is. I want my hair to be around my shoulders. So yes, so that's why I have my sew-in in. And this was fun. Yes. Thank you for coming through, Rose. You're always in my you're always here. You're always super interactive, and I appreciate that, especially in my live streams. And you definitely bring a lot of good conversations. You be bringing a lot of the nuance. So I am definitely here for my subscribers. What's the last thing I want to say? I don't want to forget anything. Keep it cute. Like, keep it really cute. Like, I mean bad. Like, you sometimes, what was that song by Sway Lee? He said, "You a bad B. I ain't even gonna deny you." Like, it's something like when you just like that, and you know you're like that, and everybody else knows that you're like that, you a bad B. Can't nobody deny you. Another thing, attractiveness scale. How to know that you're attractive? Like, okay, if you walk into a room and 9 times out of 10, whatever room you walk into, you're the baddest B in that section. Now, I'm not talking about globally. Me personally, I can't say I'm the global beauty standard for nobody, but in this area, baby, and when I be walking in rooms and stuff, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a baddie. Like, this is it. Part of being, you know, that baddie, that real baddie, you cannot be intimidated with other baddies into the room. Okay, you can't be looking around and saying, you know, this baddie got in. Let me go click in with the other baddies. Because I feel like, Cyrus, you knew what the game was. And this is me talking to the creator personally at this point. Cyrus, you knew what the game was. You were very aware. You know how Miami is. We all speak about Miami with the darkism. Darkism, there's no excuse for darkism. I'm here for that. But as far as like the fat phobia and stuff, baby, he told you weren't even supposed to come in there with shorts. So already you was already off to a bad, like, the best thing for you guys to do to beat this war on Black femininity is operate in your utmost feminine all of the time, or as many times as possible. They cannot deny you if you are a bad B. It would never be, it's unfathomable. Understand this. So in a particular sense, I don't expect none of my girls to be straight up 10. To be a 10, that means you have to be flawless. We are people, we have flaws. But girl, you got to be on that improvement journey. Like, I'm sorry. So that's why I really want to help y'all focus on Pretty Girl July, because I don't want this to happen to y'all. I don't want y'all, this can happen to anybody, where somebody is trying to pick you apart for your features or whatever. And as far as the skinny shaming that I face, I don't feel no type of way, because I always tell myself I have a better body than most of the people who are talking about my body. Like, nobody has ever had a comment on my body that had a better body than me. So with that being said, I usually can cut the skinny shaming at the door. So I'm going to give y'all some more pretty girl content. Y'all have to work on your rebuttals, man. Y'all have to work on standing up for yourself. And actually, if you're a pretty girls defend themselves then and there. I feel like, not to call her a loser, because she needs to be able to document it, but it's something to say that you had something going on and you didn't speak on it right then and there. That's weak. Natural selection doing its thing. I feel like for real, of course, she went to another club. She did what she was supposed to do. I don't think she did anything wrong. She was literally just existing, and she got treated bad for existing. But honey, stay in DC. Don't go nowhere else unless you lose some weight, you know. Do not do that bright eye makeup no more. Please cut that out. Stop that. And next thing, you know, actually focus on enhancing your raw, unambiguous beauty. A lot of y'all look crazy because y'all trying to be carbon copies of the women of other nations, as other YouTubers like to call it. I love that word. The women of other nations. Y'all like to look like women of other nations all the time, that you don't even know how to really enhance your own unambiguous beauty. So it's like, it just look like you're trying to be a carbon copy. I feel like all those girls, except for the girl in the back, I don't feel like she looks good to me. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no problems. But everybody else, I think I need to get that thing up. That makeup up, those looks up. And part of it isn't just a skill too. I'm rambling, but I gotta tell y'all, it's not just a skill. It's about what looks good on you. Like, for real. Like, some people, certain hairstyles just look better on them. So no amount of skill is gonna change that. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all for being here. And I, of course, appreciate y'all for supporting the Strategic Feminine here on YouTube. I always tell y'all, be good people, be holy people, read the word and spread the word. But I'll be back. Bye. Oh, Bello.